Okay. Again, I do apologize for that little incident there, but this is Here on the Waste, a weekly RPG session where we play Horizons Unknown After Earth RPG, a game that I have created myself. My name is Scott. I am the writer and creator of the game. This game is a sci-fi fantasy game that is set in a distant future of 2422 on an alien planet known as Saldaria, where the last remnants of humanity have colonized because Earth had essentially died out. Um, with this game itself, again, it is probably in a beta version as of right now. This is a game that I've been constantly working on, and hope to get up on Kickstarter. I was hoping to do it this year, but it'll probably end up the beginning of next year. So please definitely go ahead and look at that and check that out once we get that all taken care of and I get all the small things dealt with, as well as getting some art and stuff so you can actually get a visual representation of what exactly is happening in this world of Saldaria here. Again, this is season 3. I do appreciate everybody who will be coming in and checking it out. If you do miss anything, you can always go to my YouTube, where I post everything here as well. Tonight, we do have our awesome cast here of Mr. Ryan, aka Rand118. How you doing, good sir?
I'm great. Glad to be here.
And we have Mike. How you doing, good sir?
Awesome.
As you do notice, we are missing Shane. Shane is again having internet troubles, and unfortunately, you probably anybody who's watched this enough, we noticed that Burgher _TV is no longer on the cast. We did unfortunately kill Otis Dirtbanger in the last season. He did ask me to kill him, and then
He's basically the Han
Yeah.
Solo of your Star
and then
Wars.
told me afterwards at the end that he was hoping that Otis would live. So
It's like, we should have told me that before you cut my
I
head
know,
off.
right? I was
Yeah.
just like, I apologize. I apologize.
We're doing great things with cybernetics these days, though.
Yeah, I
We
was
can
gonna
just
say
stitch that guy right back. You don't need
we can we can make him better.
There you go. Before you know it, we have like Otis replicants all across who are just running wild. And we're gonna have to create Blade
More
Runners.
terrifying than any villain we've fought so far.
We'll have to create Blade Runners to go out and cull the sheep that is Otis Dirtbanger. But again, this is season 3 here, and we do not have Otis. But Otis's story did kind of end with a little bit of a vindication here for Otis. If you did not watch, Otis was able to get vengeance and vindication against his tyrannical stepfather, aka step uncle. It was some weird family
Uncle,
thing,
father, step guy.
family thing they had going on. That was going on, and he was able to get him with the help of Mike and the help of Rev and the help of Doc, sucked into a banishment rift hole. And as he was clawing his way to try to pull himself back in, I do believe, I might be a little hazy, but he cuts off his arm in very Luke Skywalker, Vader style. And unfortunately, Titanimus is sucked into the banishment rift, lost in space and time forever. He's probably just dead. He's not lost. Like the moment he got sucked in, it probably just froze to death, and it's a done deal.
That's good. He deserved
There
it.
you go. There you go. Tonight, we are going to jump into episode number 26 of season 3 here. This season, usually we do about 13 episodes. This season will be much shorter. We're only going to do about 10 because we usually end right around November. Usually our last cast will be the Halloween cast, where hopefully Ryan dresses up as Ryan Jedi Kenobi, Mike shows up with something, and then I wear my Mickey Mouse wizard hat. And that's usually how we end it, and then we usually come back at the beginning of the year. If you wonder why all those things, it's because it's the holidays and everybody has other things to do and it's pretty busy. So we're definitely going to make sure that these 10 episodes are pretty story packed,
Packed, chock full.
chock full of just abba zabba goodness.
And arms being cut off and stuff.
Well, that it happens to people. Okay, some people get it cut off, and then some people actually ask a doctor to remove it because they're just like, this weak bone and flesh is. It isn't everlasting, not like cybernetics is. Rev.
Who wants a genetically normal arm anyway?
There you go. There you go. So we're gonna jump in tonight. Again, this is Here on the Wastes. This game is called Horizons Unknown After Our RPG. And with that, this is what's going to happen tonight here on episode 26. Because Rand, I think it was because Burgher liked titles for every episode.
Yeah, Burgher was the one who liked the
And
titles of
since
the
Burger's
episode.
not here, Rand will be the person who always just goes, "What's the title?"
Oh, so what's this story about?
The keeper of the title banner. It is called The Fields of War.
Ooh.
Okay, and with that, we're just gonna jump right in. It's been about 6 full months since that day when Otis was killed. And on that day, a new war has erupted across Saldaria. You all have witnessed the opening salvos of the war. You were there. You've each seen and played your part in the bloodshed and the battle ever since that day. Now a dark alliance has been formed. Sandormo, Titanfall, and now Warband, an underground city for the souls of woe, has now emerged. Now Warband itself has been causing havoc throughout the eastern regions of Lumina itself, in an ongoing constant battle now of almost godly proportions, with Fenrir's Hold and the Pillars of the Lost Dawn. You have each now taken commander roles, though, in what has now been named the Light's Resistance. Those who have chosen to ally together to stop this dark alliance from its path of destruction and mayhem. It's been some time since Otis perished at the hands of Walter. Rev remembers that moment ever so vividly. I'm trying to say vivid and vibrant at the game. Vividly. But since there has been no longer any rumors of his whereabouts, nor of his sister Mika, information has been slim since the breakout of this war. Canberran, which was the only neutral city in the region, has been under constant attack by the Dark Alliance, and barely even standing, only to the brave actions of Overton Hill and of Canberran's forces alone is remained standing for this long. But now Canberran has closed its walls. No one goes in, and no one leaves. Recently, there's been some visual verifications of the first of the Gallants, the sky fortresses that the file that Rev and Voldo had hacked and gained information on. The first visual verification is now hovering above Sandormo itself. Many who have seen it have named it the Endbringer. No one dares ventures close to the walls of Sandormo anymore, as if they do, their ends are met in a flash of light. The death of Rufus Titanimus has been heard all across the wastes. They were hoping that there would be a power vacuum once the death of Rufus Titanimus had been known. But alas, they were wrong. But, if anything, across the waste, so was the stories of the last of the line of dirtbangers who was there to seal Rufus's fate. Vengeance was served at a great price, since the line of the Dirtbangers died that day. But unfortunately, Mott, Titanimus, Rufus's oldest son, has now took his father's seat as the head of Titanfall. Now Mott is no more than just a puppet ruler, scarred, broken, battered, due to his encounter with Otis. Mott he's pretty much a recluse now, never leaves the confines of the city. No one even sees him. It is said that he can barely walk or even talk, let alone even fight. But because of his name, he still holds sway in the north. Thanks to the backing of the Bandit King himself, Marvis Falcorn, merely towards that Titanimus line. Still, many have rebelled against this new ruler of Titanfall, and much unrest is now brewing in the north. They have bound together in the name of one Otis Dirtbanger, the last of his name and the true lords of North Black Downs, who with his allies ended the reign of supreme tyranny under Rufus. It was told that Otis cut the hand of Rufus and allowed him to be sucked into the mouth of a monster, payment in full. Unfortunately, this new bloodshed has now stirred up something within the central hub. And more so stirred up something, maybe has awakened something. Winged cyborg constructs, known as swift shades, are now circling above the skies of Amsharai, and have been seen even farther out, now watching like vultures over the madness that has been sweeping Lumina. They have not interfered as of yet, instead only seen watching and waiting over the fields of war. You have each seen battles over your past few months, taking part in whatever you can as you continue to keep trying to run from the gaze of the Dark Alliance. Moncrief kept his word. He cleared your name amongst the major of the cities, but nothing can be done about Titanfall and Sandormo. Word is 5 million checks have been placed on your heads to any mercenary looking to change their fortune. Word for you, Rev, unfortunately has, though, reached your ears about the severed heads of Mac and Skag that were placed on pikes outside the ruined outer walls of Bighorn. A warning to all those who oppose the Dark Alliance or to harbor any fugitives. Though even through it all, Tarion reminds you every day and at every turn that they are always watching and that your mission's course has not changed, but understands the delay. This Alliance of Light has been named again the Lights Alliance and bannered union of Cindervale, Overton Hill, Los Rivos, and now you've gained the support of Jericho Summit. They have lent their support, ever how small it be. But unfortunately, a new enemy is ready to strike. The whispers have been growing louder, and their queen moves to personally end this resistance. Whispers of a woman in white, her face covered with a veil of webs, touched by Manar, draped in starlight. They say that her fingers are like frozen ice shards, and all who look upon her are never seen again. Intel states that they've seen her walking across battlefields, that she's one, feasting on the souls of the dead. Some intel states that she can never die, but no one really knows for sure. These are just stories, but some stories are dipped within the waters of truth. Marvis Falcorn, the Banded King, the one who never leaves his fortified kingdom, the architect of this madness and chaos, merely oversees the destruction of Lumina until all bow to him. So have they made their way into the protection of Sandormo, but not because of what he's done, but what he might do. And yes, might be the one who reclaims the throne of Amsharai for once, and for all, and from the construct's tyranny itself of Amsharai, that he might be the one to bring back balance and humanity. Unfortunately, Marvis Falcorn has been known to be a chaotic soul, hell-bent and vengeful, but they think, if anything, it's worth the gamble that they utter to themselves. You've just arrived in Sodu, a small fortified island off the western coast just south of Cambaran. It's been a strategic base of operations for a small battalion of recruits who have been tasked by the Light's Resistance for special, even more clandestine missions. It's also been a place of refuge for all those who have been worn and battled by the war itself. The state-of-the-art mobile medical centers with a bevy of Rico vats that have been known to heal any wounds within 24 hours. These Rico vats were designed with the help of Dr. Ace Mars, with the larger recovery tanks now housed in Los Rivos. You've each been sent to different places in Lumina during these past 6 months. As Rev, Marvin is with you.
Okay.
And Marvin, now your ally, as you
My
pretty
ally,
much
Marvin, yeah.
saved him from the vengeful acts of Dr. Eli Hauser, under the belief that Marvin had failed him by letting you guys go and in some ways even helping you out. He took it out on Marvin by eliminating whatever family he had left hiding in Cindervale.
And Marvin's from, is he originally from
Marvin
Cindervale?
is originally from Cindervale.
But I met him in Overton Hill, is that right?
You met him in
Or was-
Cambaran.
Oh, it was at Cambaran, okay.
Marvin was at one time employed by a gentleman they knew as Remo Hargrove, who turned out to be Dr. Eli Hauser.
Okay.
Marvin has changed his allegiances and hopes to get vengeance by partnering up with the only person that he can relatively call dependable and maybe even a bit of a friend.
Rev's never had a friend before.
The voice of
Except for
the voice of Otis. What are you talking about, Rev?
Yeah, not one that's lived for very long anyway.
Scat and Mac, Skag and
Skag.
Mac are
I
just
just
like
look
they're
at
dust
Skag
in the
and-
wind. Poor guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Voldo probably doesn't want to get too close to Rev. My friends don't seem to last very
Marvin,
long.
you essentially have taught Marvin how to pilot the RevJet, which is now in your possession.
Oh. If nothing else, we've saved the Rev jet.
That was one of the things right after when you decided to take command of one of the battalions, is that you wanted to have your RevJet, which they took care of all the
That'd have been-
upgrades.
Yeah, that was in Los Rivos, right?
It was
like
kind of
stored
housed and
there.
stored in
Yeah.
Los Rivos. Marvin has now been
Okay.
your pilot this whole time.
He's my eye in the sky, man.
As you both are flying into Sodu, it's been about 2 months since you've actually been back here.
Okay.
Okay, you do know the high commander here, which is a Lilia Greythorn.
Lilia Grapethorn?
Greythorn.
Greythorn. Okay. Commander.
But during that time, yourself, Doc, and Voldo each had taken command of your own battalions, and you have not seen each other over this past 6 months.
Okay.
And again, in a place like this, it's really hard to get information. You've kept tabs, knowing that they were out there. Voldo was more off the radar, but you were aware that Doc had, at the behest of the Clockwork King, went back to Los Rivos to help out.
Okay.
With that, this is your first time back to Sodu, and you do know that you probably are going to be able to see at least Voldo again you were all summoned by Lilia for a special task. Unfortunately, you just got word that the good doctor has been delayed for a bit.
Okay.
As you land in your essentially the RevJet's landing space at this point, which is landing bay 3, which is
Okay.
the farthest away from the strategic hub, but you wanted a little peace and quiet, so you can always do upgrades. Sodu itself is a small fortified island that is protected by a force barrier.
A force
A
barrier?
force barrier. So very much
Okay.
like the same one that you saw at the farm, except this is completely
yes.
spherically enclosed.
Okay.
You do see hovering just above, and you almost take a look at it, as you've seen it many, many times at this point. It's almost like it could be the same technology that the doc used with his hat. That you just see these almost octagonal, like, floating things that sit probably, like, you know, maybe 100 or 200 yards hovering above the compound itself, that merely
Okay.
just spin, and connected, they all create a force barrier that can be open and closed in small increments to
Okay.
allow people to enter and exit without having to take the force barrier itself completely down.
Okay. Cool.
So with you come back in, you land. Marvin seems to be a much more capable pilot than Otis was.
He doesn't need my owner's manual to
No.
help him know which button to
He
press.
merely just looks at
Good.
you, just kind of gives you a look, and just goes, "We're back, boss."
I think we get to have a little bit of downtime this time, or are they just gonna send us right out? What do you think?
It's coming straight from her. It's coming straight in for Lilia, boss. I can only imagine that we're being sent right back out. It's got to be something big.
Do you think she knows where Sarai is?
Couldn't tell you, boss. Don't know. Remember,
All right, well, like I
like, the
said-
information coming in is super slim, and if she was, as you said, taken to San Dormo, the only way you're ever gonna know is for you to walk right in there.
Well, maybe she's got a mission taking us to San Dormo.
Maybe we could hope.
Let's go check it out.
That if we find Sarai there, that means we'll find Dr. Eli Hauser. I wouldn't mind removing his head from his shoulders, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it seems like beheading people is the new thing these days.
Well, there's a finality to it. They usually don't come back.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
Although
cybernetics are pretty good these days.
I was gonna say, Doc's good, and he had these new vats that apparently you could just put people in. They're fine. I
I
don't
don't know
know.
if you can kind of like glue heads back on, but
Have you seen Futurama? Never mind.
future what? You want me to just stay here, boss? Watch over the rev chip?
No, I think you're gonna be on this mission, so you should come with us.
All right.
I don't want to have to repeat everything she tells me anyway. It's too much work.
Sounds good. With that, he kind of gets out of the seat, spins around, picks up the devil dog that was Otis's weapon that you passed on to him, kind of slings it across his back, opens up obviously the back canopy doors as the tail comes down, and you merely walk out. You're greeted by 2 or 3 of just the general guards who are there, and they kind of like give you a salute.
How's everything looking in Sodu?
They're like, we're doing our best. We're doing our best, Commander.
Is it quiet, or you've been having to fight off
It's
any of the Dark Alliance
been
troops?
crazy here. Tons of people, tons of ships going in and out, even ships that are coming in order to try to get all the way around into Cindervale to grant support and help. We've been doing flybys over Camp Barron nightly, essentially, because there's just been constant attacks on Cambaran, and we gave them our word and that we support them all the way to the end. But reality is, we can't keep it up forever. Resources
Yeah,
will
the
get
base
low.
cap Baron has lasted this long.
That's true. That is true. There's some tough sons of bitches over there.
Keep up the fight. I got to go meet with the commander.
Understood, sir. Thank you. That
I don't know if Red knows how to salute or
no,
not.
he just kind of goes. He just goes.
I apparently do the robot is what I do.
It's okay. As you guys you're doing that, you get you saluted. Marvin just goes. Tosses him a salute for you guys. As you make your way through the compound itself, you've been here several times before. Nothing is new. You do see a lot more of these mobile medical centers here, though, and you can see that there's a lot of people going in and out. And as one of kind of like the doors slide, you can see that these brand new like recovery vats filled with like this blue liquid, which is bodies just kind of like just submerged in them. Very much, if anyone wants to know, it's very much like Luke Skywalker. But
Back to tanks.
Yeah, back to tanks.
Okay, cool.
Are in there, and you kind of like just continue to keep walking by. It's just too much of a reminder of the carnage that this war has taken. You make your way to the very largest building that's in the middle of the compound itself. You know that to be the strategic headquarters, where Lilia is probably sitting there, as well as her second in command, known as Jupiter. Jupiter is a very, very large woman, meaning she's about 6'1", and she probably looks like she's a rugby player. She's not the kind, you know firsthand, Rev, that she's probably not the kind would take too much of any lip from anybody. And if you want, if you ever had an itch to go one-on-one, she'd be the person to say, I'll clash blades with you anytime.
Let's spar, baby. That's right.
Marvin steers clear of Jupiter at all costs. He's just not that kind of person. But Lilia herself is a short black-haired girl that stands about 5'5". She's a firecracker and a bit of a ball buster of a personality. She wears an eye patch over one of her eyes and a full cape draped over just one of her shoulders. Her dark hair is almost hidden underneath a beret that she wears. She also walks around with a Calarium state-of-the-art cane that has more than its share of tricks within it.
Like a walking cane type of thing?
She's been wounded in battle.
Okay.
Her second in command is a very fit woman, very large woman, who has the look of a warrior with a very short pixie haircut and a hardened but still feminine face. She stands about 6'1", fitted in her command regalia, with her coat as well over one shoulder, just like Lilia. Her green eyes, though, glimmer like emeralds, and always upon her back is strapped a very large carbine pulse rifle, and you know her to be Jupiter. As you walk in, they seem to be discussing something at the far end. In between you and them is the very large holographic table, the 3D map of Lumina, very much like you saw in Los Rivos, just much more state-of-the-art and much larger. Is
that something we can like see where conflicts are happening?
Absolutely.
And that kind of thing?
That's exactly what you're seeing. As well as on the walls are full of monitors of all incoming feed of conflicts and battles of obviously other people interacting and talking. You can see, especially on some of their faces, that they are in the midst of current battles, and that each one of their looks seems to be a look of despair. As you walk in, one woman comes up to you, and she just goes, "Commander, it's wonderful to have you here." As she bows to you.
It's good to be back. Do I know who this person
Yes,
is?
her name is Rin. Her name is Rin.
Rin.
She just happens to be just one of the people who works in there. She's a communications officer usually.
Okay. Well, I'm going to walk up to the map and kind of look over and ask her, "What's the situation around San Dormo, Rin?"
Constant conflicts. They're breaking out even more in the east.
Do we have any update on any more of these sky fortresses showing up, or is it still just the one over San Dormo?
We've only found the one over San Dormo, and she actually just kind of like puts her hand within this 3D image, and she just expands it and pulls it up, and you just see like the visual of this 3D image of this sky gallant just sitting over the city of San Dormo.
Does it look like a Star Destroyer, or what? What does it look like?
It looks a little bit like a Star Destroyer, just not as Dorito-ish.
a less Dorito-ish Star Destroyer. Nice.
Less sharp edges.
Well, Ren, we can only pray that we don't see another one of these.
If you ever
Gallants.
seen Captain America, what's the second movie called? The Winter Soldier, when they have like those
No, I
sky
haven't seen that one.
fortresses.
Okay.
Those are more like it, but they're just essentially they're like what are those? They're like it's like taking like 5 aircraft carriers and putting them together, and then just putting like
Okay.
a gigantic Star Destroyer on top of it. Needless to say, it's
Okay.
like a city, a floating city that is just armed to the teeth.
Okay. Well, as I'm kind of just scanning the map and seeing all the craziness, I do say, Ren, do you know why the commander called us back?
Because, unfortunately, you know better than I do, sir. She doesn't tell us anything. She'll be telling it directly to you. If anything, it's probably coming from the higher ups.
Okay. Well, I better go meet with her. I fail at my salute again.
She
as
merely
I-
just bows. She understands and she walks away. As that happens, sitting in a chair in the corner is Voldo. This is the first time you've seen Voldo in literally 6 months.
Does he like do the whole like turn
I
around
don't
like
know.
an evil?
Voldo, what are you doing?
I slowly turn around.
Okay, so he
Look
does
at-
exactly
look to
what
see
Red
who's-
said.
look to see who's coming in the door, walking
He
up.
has his like legs up off the ground, and like he like turns himself, and then the moment like you see that, you're just like, the spirit of Christ compels you. That needs to be exercised. How is that chair moving by itself? The spirit of Christ compels you. Yeah, he does something, and he merely just kind of like turns in some Godfather moment.
I just give him a really puzzled look for a good 30 seconds, staring at him, trying to figure out who it is. And then I just slowly, Rev? Is that you?
Well, if it isn't Voldo himself, the assassin extraordinaire. What took you so long to recognize me? Don't you recognize me?
I thought you were dead. I assumed you were dead with everybody who's been dying recently.
Look, I'm not so easy to kill as some of the other people most of the other people I've known.
Marvin,
Everybody
kind of
you've ever
puts his
known.
hand on your shoulder to give you like, yeah, he's tough.
So
Yeah,
is this kid the next one to die?
Marvin, he's resourceful, but stay close, Marvin.
And he looks at you and just goes, of course.
Besides, this guy can fly. What have you been up to these last 6 months?
Oh man, lots of killing and lots of dying. It's been an interesting couple months. I'm surprised I made it this long, to be honest. What about you? Where you been?
Killing is your specialty. I've been trying to find prisoners and other people that have been taken by Marcus Falcorn, trying to at least get some of these people out of where they're locked away and working in these camps and mines that they're forced to work in.
Sounds like you. I've been doing fairly the opposite. I've been kidnapping his people and asking them questions.
What have you found out?
Mostly true movements, stuff like that. But have you heard these rumors about some lady in white walking battlefields, stealing souls, icicle fingers, just really interesting stories.
I've heard of it. To be honest, makes me think of every time the oh, what's his name? Sorry, out of character. What's the guy who killed Otis's name?
Walter.
Walter. It sounds to me like it's the one that he always called the White Queen. I don't know, but that's what it sounds like to me.
The Whisper Queen, yeah.
The Whisper Queen? Oh, I thought it was the White Queen. Sorry, Whisper Queen.
Well, I can tell you that everything you've heard is most likely true. Last mission I went on, last thing I saw was her walking the battlefield out after an explosion killed my entire troops. All my troops, just gone in an instant. And somehow I ended up back over here in Sodu, and I'm not going to lie, I was scared. I'm not scared of anything, but that scared me.
How did you get out of there?
That's a good question. Last I knew, I was fading from the explosion. I watched her walk through my troops who were dying, and best I could say is she sucked their souls out of them, or something like that. I have no idea. And then I blacked out, and then I woke up here. Very hurt.
Well, I hope I don't run into her anytime soon. She sounds like a piece of work.
I kind of want to run into her again.
All right. Well, you remember that thing I said about all the people I know dying, right? You might want to be careful.
I'm pretty sure your buddy there's the next one on the list, not me.
Don't listen to him.
Marvin just goes.
Marvin, you're good. You're my eye on this guy. You're good.
The woman you know is Jupiter. Pulls away from obviously her conversation with Commander Lilia, who's on comm communications with someone else. Obviously, who's not in the room. It's obviously it's off base. She walks over to you. She sees both of you. She kind of gives you kind of her salute. She doesn't give it to Voldo because Voldo's been there, but she gives it to it to Rev.
I give her a different salute.
With that, she goes, I see that you two have kind of had a little time to catch up here.
Yeah. Voldo just doing his thing, it sounds like.
I'm just eyeballing her.
She goes, well, Voldo's been here for the past 2 weeks in traction.
Traction? You mean, was he in one of those tanks over there?
Yes. He was unconscious for almost about 5 days.
Like I said, I was hurt.
Clandestine attack, he was supposed to infiltrate Titanfall. Obviously, that didn't work.
He was trying to get into Titanfall? That place is locked up like a fortress.
Well, we thought, and Voldo knew.
But we thought we could get in.
We thought it could be a chance to get in, maybe seize control of Titanfall. Unfortunately,
they were ready.
They're always
she looks
ready.
At you,
it sounds
she looks
like.
at you, kind of gives you a, yeah, they were ready. Yeah.
Well, can you give us a hint about what the commanders pulled us in for?
We're going to get you guys back together and see if we can get you three. Oh, wait. She goes, where's the good doctor?
What, Doc was supposed to be here? Thought he was in Los Rivos.
She turns around. She taps on Lilia. Lilia just takes off the headphones and sits down. She spins around. And Lilia, again, very much a 5'5" firecracker, is actually quite attractive. But even with the scar and the patch, you can see at some point that she was actually a very beautiful woman who decided to take up the cause and wasn't going to be bullied and pushed around anymore. She comes up to you, looks at you, and she just goes, Commander Rev, it's wonderful to see you.
Commander, it's good to be here.
And she goes, I see Commander Voldo is here. She looks at you and she just goes, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling top of my game now.
She goes, everything seems to be working because last time I saw you, we were reattaching your legs.
Yeah, they're cybernetic. They do that.
Understood. And she goes,
Rev just like nods. Yeah.
and she looks
That
she
is how
looks
they
at you,
do.
Rev, and she just goes, I see Marvin is still alive. Wonderful.
Please, don't act so surprised. Marvin's not going anywhere.
Marvin just
okay.
Marvin again puts his hand on your shoulder, like you're.
And I just
right-hand
kind of
man.
look over at Marvin and give him a wink.
Every, you always feel like every time that he holds onto your shoulder, it's just kind of like you're my rock. If I stay
Like,
with
don't
you,
let them take me.
if I stay with you, I won't die. I've seen too much.
Marvin's got my back, Commander. He's gold.
And
He's gold, Jerry. He's gold.
she looks at Jupiter. Jupiter takes position on one of the sides of the table, and she just goes, and just got word. Unfortunately, the good doctor has been delayed. We're hoping that we'll be able to get him back together with you because we require your services.
We're not starting another war, are we? We already got our hands full with this
How
one.
could we start another war when we are within a war, Commander? We're trying to end wars.
Well, the last time we three were together, it kind of started this whole mess.
And it is
And I'm just going to lean over. It sounds like we're starting a war.
She looks at you and she kind of like gives a smile. It's one of the few smiles that she's ever given. And she goes, I understand. But we're losing this war.
It's about time we win it.
Commander, you have any plans that we can help with maybe turn some tides?
We're going to try once again a clandestine attack directly into one of the cities.
Which
need
city
to
are we
start
going for?
eliminating the head of the snake. Now, I would avoid at this point Titanfall,
I agree with that one.
but there has
Yeah,
been some
here at
unrest up in the
wasn't the greatest
north.
infiltration.
Maybe in time, Titanfall will be weakened by it.
What kind of stuff you been hearing about the North?
She looks at you and she just goes, Voldo, you know.
Okay,
You
well.
started some of it.
But that was on orders and accident.
She actually looks at you and she goes, are you aware what Voldo was doing during this time, Commander?
Rev's just kind of looking. It's like, not particularly. I assume it involves killing people because that's what he's good at.
Yes, that is one way. But also he was a person who stirred things up, stirred up conflict, incited riots, extracted information in, let's just say, morally ambiguous ways.
I just look at Voldo.
Some of that information
Yeah.
was actually given to you to help you out in some of your rescue missions. Compliments of Voldo here.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll thank you when we get some results.
Well, with that, Commander, you have saved many. And many of those people have become one with the cause and have volunteered. That's something to be said for
Rev-
yourself.
Rev just looks at Voldo with like a grudging nod, like he can't bring himself to say thank you.
Marvin squeezes your shoulder
take it.
a little bit.
I grab his hand and look down.
We hear him
You
whimper.
kind of look up, and Jupiter's giving you like a, what's with this relationship? Marvin just looks at Jupiter and just goes. He kind of gives her a little thumbs up. She goes, but we're not going to win this. As you now know, there's a Gallant, a sky fortress, hovering above Sandormo itself. And I do
Yeah, I
believe
saw
you
the
have some more
hologram.
information on that, Commander Voldo?
I got a lot of information specifically on Sandormo. I'm
In
not quite
regards
sure which one you're looking
in
for.
regards to the Gallants?
Oh, the Gallants? Yes. In my last travels, I did hear that they're actually currently building a second one that they're hoping to install above Sandormo this time.
Titanfall.
Another
Or
one.
Titanfall this time. My bad. Titanfall this time.
No wonder
So-
you couldn't get into Titanfall.
Time is of the essence, as
Yes.
you see, for all of us. So that leaves Warband. Now, unfortunately, there's not much known about Warband.
The souls of the woe.
All we know is completely underground city, occupied by those from the Souls of Woe. And
Has anybody been in there recently?
no, we did.
Do we know where it is?
We know that it's into the east, in the southern part.
Okay.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
Southeast?
It's quite a big area.
Well, she pulls up the map, and on the map you see Warband.
Okay. It's like, because I got a map right here. I'm looking at it, but I don't know if I'm allowed to
No,
use this
yeah,
map.
that map is what you're seeing on
Okay.
in the 3D version on this this holographic table.
Okay.
And she
Do we have
she
any
merely,
scouting?
She merely like it makes it easier. She kind of like takes a lot of it and just moves it over, and it just pulls up to the eastern part, and she just goes, "We believe
Okay.
that it sits here, on this eastern,
And I would like
southern
kind of-
eastern tip."
I'm like blowing it up, and like asking, have you had any scouts in the area to see if there's entrances or defenses? Do we know anything about
Every
it?
scout that we've sent over there has not come back.
Sounds like my
Alright.
kind of mission.
And she just goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, Voldo. The last one you had of those, we had to reattach legs."
Yeah, but I had some others before that you didn't.
She goes, "I understand." She just goes, "But if we send you guys in, it's a one-way mission."
Marvin's the best RevJet pilot I've ever seen. He'll get us in there.
And these kind of missions have just become my bread and butter at this point, minus the almost dying.
She goes, "It makes sense to send you three in, plus Marvin, because either way you cut it. You guys seem to stir up chaos.
Is our goal a specific target in Warband?
If you go to Warband, your specific target is to eliminate all of Warband.
The entire city? You want us to destroy the city?
If you can get to the central point of their command, and she hands you a little device, and when she does it, she kind of like takes it, and it merely like floats on its own towards you, and you grab it, and she gives one to Voldo, and then there's a third one. She goes, "This one will be for the good doctor." She goes, "Who will hold it until he gets here?" "Voldo?"
No, give it to Marvin.
There we
She
go.
passes it over to Marvin.
We each get one.
She goes, "If you can plant these in specific targeted areas, we can make a coordinated plasmatic attack, the equivalent of like 5 nuclear warheads."
Does she tell us what this device is called, or is it
It's
just
merely
the
a beacon
It's a beacon.
that
Okay.
allows them to pick up the signal that they can actually attack through terrain.
So this is like an ion from orbital
Yes,
strike
it's
type
an
thing.
orbital strike is the best way to look at that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, 100% is an orbital strike. This, when once planted, will absolutely give us. It's almost like a sonar ping, which will give us a look of the terrain, so we can actually make coordinated attacks.
What kind of blast radius we talking here?
We're talking about if you guys aren't very far away. Well,
What's our time
even a
frame to set
recovery
this and
tank
get
won't
out?
help you. But with the cybernetics these days,
Do we get to choose when the orbital strike happens?
Yes.
Because
yes, everything
Okay.
everything would be keyed on on you guys, planting them,
Okay.
getting away, and then saying
And then transmitting
the
whatever.
information that allows them to do a coordinated
Okay.
orbital strike. And it's not going to be just one orbital strike. It will be 2 or
Okay.
3 satellites that are armed satellites above that will be able to create like a plasmatic beam of pure destruction.
Rev's looking at this thing. He looks over at
It merely looks like a
at
little
Voldo.
circle cylindrical thing with a bunch of like little processors and mirrors on it. It actually looks like
Yeah.
a pretty little thing.
Well, he looks at Voldo. He says, "I wish we had one of these when we were going after Titanfall."
Yeah.
Or-
I'm just hoping we could get a good vantage point.
Or you can try to hit Titanfall now. And then Jupiter kind of slams her fist down. She goes, Lilia. He goes, we should attack Sandormo. Take down that Gallant. If we kill Falcorn, this all ends. And Lilia just goes, quiet, Commander. This is what has been decided. We will leave it to
Rev looks
these
at Jupiter.
gentlemen here.
You don't know who else is in Sandormo that might get caught up in this blast. Does collateral damage mean anything to you?
Jupiter just goes, sacrifices will be needed. We are losing this war. In
If we
probably
sacrifice
3
everything,
months,
what are we fighting
we won't
for?
have enough men, enough resources, enough manpower to even hold off Cambaron.
I definitely have a grudge against Titanfall at this point. So I'm not exactly opposed to blowing that whole city up.
And she looks to Lilia and she just goes, Lilia, it's the best course. Sandormo or Titanfall. Those should be the strategic targets. And if anybody should know that Marvis Falcorn should be eliminated, it should be you. Lilia just goes, I don't want to speak about him. He may be family, but he will pay.
Wow, family with Marcus Alcorn. Okay.
This both takes you a little bit back. This is the first time you've actually heard about this from Lilia. Nor has Lilia even allowed Jupiter to kind of like speak so boldly before. But you get the sense just on the way. Roll awareness if you could.
Okay. I have awareness, and you add a 3.
+3.
Is that right? 7.
Okay.
13.
13. Voldo, you kind of pick up that there's that whatever information, probably via that communication that she was getting, or just with all the information that's coming in now, that Lilia, who's been pretty strong this whole time, you're starting to see the cracks a little bit. That maybe the tide is really, really turning. And not for the best. Unfortunately, Rev, you don't pick up on any of this. So you're just kind of like
Yeah.
you're kind of like looking at both of them, just like, what's going on? With it? And you look at Marvin.
I'm just like-
Marvin's just kind of like.
And I'm just
I'm
like,
gonna-
I support you, Commander. Whatever you say, we're doing.
Actually,
I'm going to lean
Marvin
over to Rev.
picks up on it as well. He
Marvin
he
does.
picks up on it as well, and kind of just gives you a look like, yeah. And you pick up on what Marvin's like. There's
Putting down.
yeah. Enough that
Me and Marvin, we're like
yeah,
this.
I know you can at least see from Marvin that whatever he's sensing that you're incapable of sensing right now,
Okay.
it's not good.
Okay. I'll talk to you later, Marvin. You tell me what's up.
He goes, "You got it, Commander."
So do we have to make the decision?
She goes, "The decision.
Or do you?
We will leave.
There's no decision. The commander told us to attack Warband.
Well, decision.
Well, she
Well,
also
that will
offered
the decision
Titanfall.
in the end to you, whatever you feel.
Really?
Mainly because I'm asking you to put your lives on the line here. It can only be a very small team where they will not be able to see us coming. With an expert trained pilot, as you have in Marvin,
He's the best. He's no Otis, but
And
I give him another wink.
she just goes, Otis. He goes, he's still buried here on Sodu. A monument was erected for him. Most certainly hope that he finds peace.
We're gonna have to talk to the doc about some of these cybernetic upgrades about him.
Yes.
with the Otis, you can't bring
Yeah.
back the dead.
Hey, I mean,
Cyber-
once again, cybernetics.
These days. Even Rin turns around and just goes, cybernetics these days.
Cybernetics these days.
That's going to be like the ongoing thing. Oh, you lost the legs? Cybernetics these days.
Cybernetics.
Really making some headway.
So I'm gonna turn to Rev and
Ilya
just
just
tell
looks at you,
him.
the commander, and just goes, tell me your thoughts, at least based on the situation. Do you guys know what's
Well-
going on out there?
Well, yeah, I mean, Volder, you were just at Titanfall, and you said they pretty much destroyed your whole unit. Do you think a small group like us can get in? I know how tight it was before. If they're building this sky fortress here, it's probably even tighter defense right now.
Last time I had more than 3 or 4 people. I feel like if there's a smaller group trying to sneak in, might be possible. And if they're building this Gallant there, I think now would be the best time to take it out.
Sounds like it's the higher value target, but Warbound sounds like it's the easier target.
Jupiter really looks at you and she goes, I believe Commander Voldo has a good outlook and insight upon this. He's been there before. The only problem, again, we've been trying to get as much information on it as we can, and unfortunately it's still been quite slim. Many of our scouts and infiltrators, unfortunately, well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And Ilya just goes, stop. Unfortunately, many people have perished trying to give us this information. It seems to be an ongoing thing in war. Sacrifices need to be made. Now I'm asking a sacrifice that is coming down from the heads of the Light's Resistance. They will do what they can to help provide you with any resources that you might need to get in, any cover, essentially anything that we can do to help you get in to your target and procure whatever information that we're requiring from you. We just think that we've been trying to send battalions after battalions of growlers, of carriers, of battalions of devil jets, and they seem to be ready for us after every corner. And we're just wasting resources and resources. And Los Rivos is trying to create as many devil jets as they can, but the production is just be too slow. We just don't have the manpower at this point. We're losing this war. That's all I can keep telling you. So we're losing this war, and maybe if we send in a small 4-man group, that maybe you could slide in unnoticed.
And with the Whisper Queen, the last time she was noticed, by me personally, she was in Titanfall. So not only can we take out a Gallant if we manage to pull this off, but there's a slight possibility we could get rid of the Whisper Queen.
All right, if that's what you guys want to do. Infiltration is something that I can assist with.
Marvin,
The difficulty is going to be getting in and out.
right? Marvin interjects
Alive.
and just goes, "Listen, boss. If we're talking about this Whisper Queen, that might be too much for us to deal with. Listen," and he looks at Volda, and she just goes, "I see that you have a commander's robe and a commander's patch, so you've earned it. But if she just wiped out you and your whole battalion like it was nothing, my God, imagine if she's still there. She's probably... The Gallant might be... If the Gallant is something that's being created right now, in the process of being built, it's like, I'm not worried about the Gallant. I'm worried about who this person is. And boss, you told me, we've had conversation before, you say that Walter and Miko serve underneath her. So it's not like you're just fighting the Whisper Queen. You guarantee that you're going to go up against Walter and Miko as well. Are we, ready to handle that?
Titanfall's the higher value target, but it's also the one that's less likely to succeed. I almost feel like we need to infiltrate Warband to see if we can get any information on Titanfall and Sandorm before we try to take it on.
I'm going to leave this decision up to you, Rev.
I look at the commander, I look at Lilia, and I ask her, what do we know if we can get any information or anything valuable from Warband that will help in this war?
I'll be honest with you, Commander, I don't know. We do know, though, that this is a three-headed monster, and Warband is definitely one of those. We don't have any information on the Souls of War. They've always been a shadowy group. We knew that they resided in the east, but now all of a sudden we have gotten visuals where they've actually been coming out from below. Large battalions. We're talking twice the size of any battalion that we even have. And these are all of dark, essentially... best way to say it is, and she kind of takes a breath, is there's a dark Manar that guides them.
Dark Manar.
You know Manar is the Saldarian word for starfire, or essentially some kind of eternal magic force, the very thing that guides you magically.
Okay.
Some kind of galactic power.
The Force?
Well, yeah, if you want to, whichever makes it easier for you to reason.
Malar is the stuff I
Manar.
draw my power from.
It's the very
Manar.
thing. Yeah, it's the very thing that you draw your power from. If you're touched by Manar, this essentially, it's almost, if you want to look at it this way, it's a omnipotent, like, galactical force, very much maybe like the Phoenix Force or something. That if you're touched by, unlocks your ability to use and to draw from.
Okay.
Saldaria itself, essentially the ley lines that intercross within the galaxies, Saldaria itself happens to be at one of the junctions in the point where it crosses, making it very blessed and touched. Manar is what
like all the
Saldarians,
magical abilities of different characters.
is where it actually
kind of
comes from.
This.
Right.
Okay.
This galactical supernatural force that nobody really knows why you have it, and you can tap into it.
Okay.
It just happens to be that you were touched by it.
Well, Rev is going to, since Voldo said he's going to leave it up to me, Rev kind of ponders, but he ultimately looks to Commander Lilia and he says, I think the commander's right. I think Titanfall and Sandormo are too big for us to take a crack at right now. I think Warband is our one shot at actually having a successful engagement in this war.
Lilia, kind of like, right, Jupiter is enraged. And she slams it down again, and she just goes, the more we waste time. What happens if you go to Warband and you find nothing? Then another Gallant during that time will have been built, and this war is over.
If we can't, Rev turns to Jupiter and says, if we can't even get close to Warband, how do we know there's not another Gallant being built right there?
But how do we know we can't get close to Titanfall?
But they said all their scouts
Or-
died.
The scouts have
But
perished
with
at
just us
Titanfall
three.
and at Warband.
Yeah.
Nobody goes to Sandormo at this point.
We're better than the normal scouts. And last time I tried, I had a battalion with me.
And 2 good legs.
And now I got 2 better legs.
Marvin just go like... he just goes...
Oh my gosh.
Shut up, Marvin.
Sounds like we got a really split decision here.
It's up to you. I'm just stating facts.
To be honest, I'm more worried about the shadowy figure behind us that we know nothing about than the 2 known threats. I'm more worried about Warband showing us something we haven't seen yet because we're ignoring them.
Fair point.
Marvin, you hear Marvin just go, good call, good call.
Can I smack Marvin at this point?
That's the only time he actually looks at you. He just goes, it's Marbin with a B.
Oh, Marvin. Okay, Marvin. Got it.
He like,
don't worry, Marvin.
He starts to like really kind of dig into like Rand's shoulders. Just like, kind of like lets up. Commander Ilya looks at you again. And she just goes, so, Rev, we will put you as the head commander of this expedition, this mission. You will go and take Voldo, your trusty pilot here, Marbin. I can give you 2 other of my men who can provide support. And for you, probably, you'll need to go to Los Rivas directly and pick up the good doctor. The good doctor has been spoken with. I'll make sure that he's been up to date of what exactly is being required. He does know by the Clockwork King, Baron Moncrief himself, that he is being, well, he is a part of a grand mission that we hope changes the course of the war here. Unfortunately, the good doctor didn't buy that this was a grand thing, and he pretty much just whined and complained. But unfortunately,
sounds like Doc.
The good doctor is part of your crew, and I think somebody with his skill set could be quite beneficial.
He could definitely be useful. What kind of skills do the other 2 men you're going to send with us have?
Mere scouts.
Cannon fodder.
I mean, scouts
Being
have
real?
their purpose. They can help out, and they're one of our best scouts who are left.
Rev just looks at Voldo. Everybody is not expendable.
No. You and Doc aren't. Just your friends.
Just shake my head. Or I do ask, well, okay, maybe I should say out of character, the Rev jet that we've made all these upgrades and stuff, does it have like the ability to stealth and some of those other things that our previous Devil Wings has had?
No.
No.
It was just all the rotted parts that you weren't able to fix. They fixed the landing gear. It's brand new landing gear. They fixed the chair. It no longer bounces one side to the side. It doesn't squeak either.
Okay.
They did upgrade some of, obviously, the AI. It's a more effective AI. And they essentially your Rev jet looks like it's brand new right off the production line. But and they did provide it with weapons, so you do have weapons. Okay. And you still have, and so you had those brand new. You had those engines that you had bought anyways, and they were just like, well, those engines are good enough.
Okay.
They're his.
Okay.
You don't want to like mess up too much. This guy's a stickler for like us touching his stuff.
Well, Rev wants his Rev jet to have Mirage like he does, but it sounds like it's not going to happen. I'm back in the character. Can I speak to Lilia and say, is there any way with these resources we have that we can get the Rev jet something to increase its ability to remain undetected?
What exactly are you looking into? Or what exactly are you inquiring? Jupiter will be able to take care of all that out for you. Just tell Jupiter.
I look at Jupiter.
Jupiter just kind of like, she's seething. And she's just so...
Yeah.
She just goes, what is it you require?
Well, Jupiter. I look up at her. She's really tall.
Well, you're not like that tall. She's like 6'1", and I think you're like 6 foot or something like that.
Okay. Still, I feel small in
Yeah,
front
you
of
kind of
her.
like slouch. Yeah.
I'm also asking for something,
Exactly.
so second in command, Jupiter. Would it be possible to outfit the rep jet with something like a stealth mechanism or something to keep us off radar, something to be less
A
detected?
cloaking device is what you're asking.
That would be great. Yeah, yeah. If you have one,
If you got it.
just lying around somewhere.
Give us about an hour. I think we can procure one for you. Do you want us to
question.
just dump it and leave it there? Because we know that you don't like us touching your stuff. Now after this point, she's getting really like snarky with you.
Rev looks at Marvin and goes, "We can take care of it."
Marvin looks at you and just goes, I mean, we built a tank.
That's right. We built a tank. Just drop it off. We'll take care of it. Jupiter, you're all right.
She merely looks at you.
She's
she
helping
just
him out
goes-
with the rev jet.
She just turns away and walks. She's just so fed up with you.
I look at Marvin and go, "We should send her a thank you note."
Marvin types into his sidekick, things to do. Install cloaking device. Infiltrate Titanfall, not die. Leave Jupiter thank you note.
That's right. Not necessarily in that order, but
Oh, and pick up the good doctor. Okay, excellent.
Okay. Marvin's a good guy.
She just goes, Marvin actually as well, kind of like, he goes, listen, boss, I don't want to like, step on any toes here, but maybe might be an idea. Maybe we can get one of those recovery vats put into the Devil Jet in case of anything.
Marvin, you are
Thank
you
you.
are a smart man. The RevJet could use a recovery tank.
I mean, 24 hours, that's not bad. I heard the recovery tanks do that in like half that time, but I mean, worst case scenario, we could put his legs back on in case he loses them again, and then he looks at you and just goes high five.
No.
Real quickly, Rev gets on his sidekick and like messages Jupiter. Oh, by the way, throw in one of those recovery tanks while you're picking up that stealth device.
From a distance.
But you know what? If you're talking to her,
Yeah, he's like,
ask her if there's any weapons she can load up.
well, they've already fitted it with weapons.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making
They've
sure
already
it's to the
fitted it
max.
with 2 ion cannons on the outside.
Oh, right.
You do hear from like the next room. Fine.
and Rev turns to Marvin and he just go, high five.
Good. That works. The high commander kind of looks at you. She again, even through her tough exterior, kind of just like that was kind of a good one. That was kind of a good one. She goes, "Is there anything else that you require, gentlemen?"
I look at Voldo. You have anything else you think we need to get into an unexplored location that's most likely hostile?
Grenades?
She goes, "I'm sure that you have some aboard the RevJet.
I have some smoke grenades.
You had
was gonna say, I
you had
thought we
like 2
dumped-
cases aboard the old RevJet that you guys never took. When old Otis bought out everything, you only took 1 and then ran off and left the RevJet back in
Okay.
Los
Okay.
Vivos. So you still have those in there.
I don't remember how
Alright.
many grenades we have,
It
but
was a case apiece, so I think they're 12, so it's a total
okay,
of 24.
so like
I don't
like
I don't
12
exactly remember what
smoke.
they were, but let's just say 12 smoke, 12 whatever you guys want it to be.
okay. What kind of grenades do you want, Voldo?
The ones that do the most damage.
Where's Otis when you need him?
Otis
He's
is-
the one who's
Otis-
the grenade expert.
Ilya looks at you, just goes,
Concussive? I think it was concussive.
yeah, I think they were
Shock grenade.
concussives because I think that's what Otis liked
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah, he liked
Yeah.
pizza. Okay, so we'll do 12 smoke, 12
Anything
concussive. Okay.
anything that creates a boom, he was quite happy.
Yes.
Yep.
with.
Okay.
She just goes, and of course
Rest in
we'll
peace.
put enough, water and rations in there to last you as long
you-
as you need be.
Do you guys have any maybe better body armor or
She goes, it
better
looks like you guys
gear?
have already have top of the line. Anything
All
else
right, all right.
that is essentially military issued, you guys have. Anything beyond that has to be custom designed by people that we do not employ here. We employ
Private
soldiers.
sector.
You know,
Okay.
people with actual skills.
But
Lilia, don't be so hard on yourself.
She just goes, I didn't understand that. That didn't make any sense. She goes, gentlemen, I bid you good luck. Stay in constant communication. Give us constant reports. If things get bad, get out of there. Get back here. If this is a situation where you know that you cannot overcome it, retreat. We'll find you.
if we can.
If you can, we'll set up an exfil and we will get you out.
We'll do what we have to do, Commander.
This is important. If you can't, no one else can. It's always something.
We'll
it's
do
always
it.
something like that. If you don't do it,
We'll do it,
no
Commander.
one else can.
We need a hero.
With that, she merely bows. She turns away, and she gets back on another communication call.
Okay.
So with that, what do you two want to do? You do know that probably it's going to take about an hour. Your camera went really blurry. Right.
Oh,
Yes,
yes, it did.
You do know that it's probably going to take about an hour. They're probably to get your cloaking device. The cloaking devices, I'll be honest, Rev, they're not top of the line. They're just
Okay.
they're good enough.
They're the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, pretty much. Like if they're not Romulan cloaking. Is it Romulan cloaking or
It's a
Klingon
joke.
cloaking? Which one has the cloaking device?
The Romulans have the better ones.
Yeah,
I
so the
think?
Romulans
I
are the
don't
ones,
remember.
where everything disappears and you don't even see it until it's in your face. It's like
Yeah.
Klingons had the first one.
That's true. The Klingons did have the first one, but yeah, it's something like an aftermarket version. It's good enough to pass.
It's fitting for the Rev
Yeah,
jet
it's good
to
enough.
not have the
it's good
top
enough
of the
to
line.
pass.
An aftermarket cloaking
And
device.
probably it takes about an hour, just in total for both of those things, to get
Okay.
the recovery vat installed.
Okay.
So the Rico vat will be put in. Unfortunately, you only have really room for one.
Okay.
So
Well, Rev actually wants to visit the grave of Otis Dirtbanger while he's here.
okay,
That is what he would like to do.
Voldo.
I want to come along too.
Okay,
I got a different plan for what we're doing there, but
okay.
Rev wasn't looking for company, but okay.
you're getting it.
What do you want Marvin to do? Do you want Marvin just to go back and ensure that everything is being installed correctly?
Marvin, I need you to make sure they don't touch anything on the Rev jet. They're not supposed to touch.
I'm just gonna whisper to Rev real quick. You should have him go check about upgrades in the market.
Upgrades. What
There's no
do you want to
markets
upgrade?
No
Yeah.
markets.
here. Yeah, man, this is-
Never mind.
This is mil-
Go
this is a-
steal some
This is
shit.
essentially just a military installation.
They got a canteen.
You have
We
to
got
go- you have to
grenades
go to
and
a
a-
s- Yeah, they do have a cantina. Anybody here? Anybody here got anything cool? Guys have like no arms. Sounds great. Cybernetics these days. With that, Marvin completely understands. He goes, "No problem, boss," and he leaves and he goes obviously to the landing bay itself.
Okay. Do I know where? I assume that Rev has visited
Yep.
Otis's grave.
Just
before.
outside the initial compound itself, as you can kind of take a look and see kind of like this pink bluish plasmatic shield, that this canopy above you. Again, you do notice that beyond that, though, is the perpetual twilight of the darkness that has covered these wastes for probably the past month or so.
Okay.
You are aware that the nights have grown extremely cold and chilly as well. Temperatures have dropped almost to the point of freezing as well. You probably should have asked for a heater, but you didn't.
We're mostly metal anyway. It's fine.
It makes it even worse.
Cybernetics these days.
Cybernetics, they all have like heating pads. Just outside the compound itself, up on a little hill overlooking the sea, lies the buried remains of one Otis Dirtbanger. On the tombstone itself, it does say the true lord of North Black Downs, Otis Dirtbanger.
Rev.
And next to
Slowly-
it, and next to it,
Oh.
right at the bottom, are still 2 grenades that you left. Because in the afterlife, you always thought he'd want those.
And they're both duds, by the
Of
way.
course, yeah.
Both.
Of course, you would give them good ones. You put those in your pockets.
He's having a hell of a time in the afterlife then.
Well, Rev reverently walks up to the right between those 2 grenades that he placed, and he goes down on a knee, and he grabs from around his neck, pulls out of his tunic the dice that he pulled from Otis's pockets when they brought his body away from the battle.
Otis's lucky loaded dice. The very reason why he won as much money as he did at the gambling tables, because Otis was a cheat. But they were lucky.
And Rev actually starts to do one of his cyberjackal shamanistic chants to kind of put him in spirit mode.
Sure.
And he's basically trying to talk to Otis through the void, saying, we're going to need to channel some of your luck on this mission, my friend. I know we can't take out Titanfall yet, but soon that will be our next target.
You don't really hear anything. You didn't really expect to have heard anything. But somewhere deep in your heart, maybe in the back of your mind and your subconscious, you can hear his whiny, cackling voice just going, "You can do it, Rev. I know you can do it. I'm with you all the way."
Rev just kind of nods and smiles. He stands up and turns around and sees Voldo standing there. Were you there the whole time?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, what you saw,
Maybe
Voldo,
weird.
is him. He essentially, when he actually started to channel and do chant, like some kind of like blue whitish aura, kind of like floated and just kind of like
Okay.
was just. It's not that seemed to be like touching him or even emanating from him. It was just like almost an aura or a halo that seemed to be around him.
Okay. Not quite so weird. You actually seem to have some kind of abilities I didn't hear. I respect that.
Yeah, you may be able to summon portals, but there's other things you don't understand in this world.
That's true.
Besides,
So
I
you
feel
done
better.
here?
I'm done. I feel better.
All right. So now that you're done, I'm gonna like sidebar talk to him. All right. So we're getting that
You're talking to
liquid
me
tube-
or like
yes,
Otis?
you,
Okay.
you. Yeah, sorry.
I was like, you could have a conversation with the dead Otis too. I was like,
No,
that's
no,
what
no,
I
no.
thought. He was
I didn't
just
know
like-
you knew him
like
that
he
well,
was
so-
just sidebarring with Otis. I'm just like,
No,
okay,
he
wait a minute.
hated
I
me.
have to I have to carry on this conversation in Otis's voice from the dead.
In that case, yes, you. But no, Rev. Okay, so we got this we got this tube that heals people getting installed in our jet right now, right?
yeah,
Okay,
apparently
so
you're
let's,
pretty powerful.
let's dig them up. Let's throw them in that bad boy.
He's been
I
dead
mean, there's-
for 6 months.
Yeah, cybernetics these days, though, bro. We
Did
got
we
the doc
even-
coming, and
Did we even recover his head? He's got to roll.
Oh,
Alright.
no, you did not. Remember, I told you the 3 gens took it.
So you want to make a headless horseman out of Otis's dead body, is what you're telling me?
I mean, I'm not opposed.
I mean, he was a good shot. Maybe he'd be
Right?
better without his head.
He was also pretty down to die.
I
so...
love how it just morally gets skewed. Before he was just like, he's been dead for 6 months. Like that's like, how would you do that? He's resting in peace, and then he was just like, well, I mean, he was a good shot.
We could have benefits from this.
No, and then Rev's like, no, that's just that would be.
It's like sacrilegious, especially
Yeah, we wouldn't be
especially
honoring
to Rev that dealing with spirits that he would to him having spirits rest is so important because if he's communing with those spirits, the obviously the deal of just being at peace with your time and place in the greater universe is extremely, extremely important to Rev. So you hear him saying that is completely like sacrilegious to him.
Yeah,
But he was a good shot.
Okay.
There's always that twing,
Yeah,
that,
but he
that
was a
super
good shot.
jackal part of him just like, well, he was a good shot. Maybe if we just take his arm and slap it on Marvin.
So Rev just says Otis has earned his rest. We should leave it at that.
Okay.
With that, is there anything else?
You and I, however, we're going to use this healing vat, I'm sure, all the time. So
Most likely.
Gonna use this.
You should just put it on the battlefield with us in it.
yeah, it's a good thing Doc designed this thing because he's going to be using it a lot.
That was great. So
yes, he will.
Listen, you let the dead be, but you and I, we're gonna be in that vat like a hot tub.
We're living in it, man. We're living in it every night.
Keep those temperatures nice and toasty.
Hot tub time machine. Let's go.
There we go.
Is there anything else you guys want to do, or you just guys want to go back?
No, I think I'm ready to head to the Rev jet.
For the sake of time, we'll just say that it probably took you about an hour of just standing over there looking at the ocean as well. It's extremely beautiful view.
What
a
if
rare time of quiet
Sure.
for us?
What if I, as on the way walking back, I took like a different turn and ran back to the grave and just jacked his arm?
I mean, you could try.
Okay, let's go for that.
Okay.
Let's go for the whole body. I'm just gonna try and sneak it on Bernie.
I hope
like
he's
Weekend at
encased in
Bernie's.
carbonite and you can't get in there.
We'll see.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and Weekend at Bernie's.
Okay, first off, go ahead and roll awareness. roll awareness. Roll blessed awareness at this point because you were chanting. So
yeah, I was in
you're
communion.
in communion, so you're in a heightened sense of all things.
Well, I rolled an 18, so plus 3 is like 21.
Go ahead and just roll stealth or sneak.
Let's see what I got here. Dude, I don't even have a way of doing that.
Just go ahead and just roll. See what you get.
7.
What happens is Voldo walks probably a few steps behind you. And it's a whole lot of, as you're like walking, Voldo tries to turn and you turn at the same time. And he's just kind of like, yeah. It's kind of like, yep. I'm just right here with you.
Just enjoying the sights.
And he tries to do it again, and you pick up on every little branch that he breaks in every step, which is so like unlike Voldo. Voldo is like Mr. Lightfoot.
Yeah.
But
he's like scuffing his feet on accident and like tripping over
like
things.
this whole thing of just trying to like, his headspace is like, I need to see if I can get this body. He's making every mistake humanly possible.
Yeah. I'm trying to steal a body here.
My channeling of Otis is Otis's spirit tripping him so they can't sneak away. It's like, you can't take my arm.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's something like that. So unfortunately, you're incapable of getting away from the prying eyes of Rev here.
All right.
With that, you
Go defile my face.
With that, you start to make your way across the compound, and you make your way towards the far end of the on landing pad 3, which is at the far end of the base, which is Rev's parking space ever since he comes over here.
Reserved for Rev.
And as you're kind of walking and you see the Rev jet, you see that there's no one else seems to be around, but you can see inside that there's just Marvin, who's just overlooking, making sure he sees that the vat has been put in there, as well as you see the vat and you see him filling with something that has some kind of power supply that's now connected into like the main engine, the main power core. And you probably take a look, one quick look, even from a distance, and you're like, that wasn't there before.
Yeah, that's new.
So that's new. I need each of you guys to roll awareness.
Okay.
14.
With my keyword 13.
Okay. As you start to get closer and closer, 3 other gentlemen essentially walk up, and they're kind of like pushing in like a large, like a hover crate that you figure is probably full of like the rations and the stuff like that in order to get put on board. As you get closer, 2 of the gentlemen stop, salute. So Commander Rev. The third one seems to take one look at you and just becomes almost huffy, puffy, and enraged, and he starts to just walk back and forth in some kind of like random manner. And he doesn't seem to be pushing anything. He just happens to be the third person that was there. But the moment that he takes a look at you, he seems just aggravated.
See, is it particular, both of us or one of us?
You don't really know.
Okay.
Voldo's behind you. It could easily be you. It could easily be him. It could easily be both of you. But for him, this person stands out. The moment he sees you, he just stops what he's doing and starts to like pace, just kind of like in this really random manner. But the other 2 are just kind of like standing there, holding this obviously this sled with a bunch of crates on there.
Yeah. I'll turn to the other 2. I say, at ease, what's with your Mr. Agitation over there?
He barely both look back at the guy, and they're just like, he's just tired, probably aggravated, might have lost some money at the gambling, probably blamed it on you. You have that kind of face, and he really kind of just looks at Voldo, and just like, you kind of have that face.
Did you say something? We didn't hear that last thing you said.
Oh, he kind of like whispers into you, and he just goes, hey, he probably lost some money at the gambling tables and stuff like that, you know. I'll be honest, he kind of looks like your friend Voldo. Your Voldo friend, he has that face. Even though we know it's not you, Commander, but...
I just look at Voldo's like, I have no idea what these guys are talking about.
I suck at gambling.
Well, I look at the 2 soldiers who salute, and I say, are you the scouts that the commander said was going to be joining us for this mission?
They both look at you, and they just go, yeah, that's us. Where would you like these?
Huh. Let's check that box first. Or whatever they got on them. Can we, check everything? Can we check them? Make sure everything's copacetic?
Go ahead.
Yeah, nothing gets on the Rev jet that I haven't inspected.
Go ahead and make an awareness check again.
18.
21.
Hey.
Oh, wow, both of you.
Yeah.
Give me a second here. Both of you now roll investigation or intellect, whichever one you guys have.
So I roll a 5.
Did you hear that? 15.
15.
Yeah.
Which one were you rolling?
Intellect.
Intellect.
I don't have either, but
Both of you think there's something a little iffy about both of these guys. Voldo, you think maybe it's smart to at least investigate the containers that they have. Rev, you notice that when you really, really kind of take a look at them, that there is a holographic glistening that seems to be coming off of them. Something, whatever is being projected is like matrixing.
Okay. I would.
They are not what they appear to be, is what I'm trying to say.
Right, right. Like we know there's something off about this
Right.
situation right here. I would like to surreptitiously go to my sidekick like I'm messaging somebody, and I want to tap into the RevJet from my sidekick and run a scan on these two guys if I can do that with my RevJet, with whatever scanners I have available on the RevJet.
Okay, see, you're gonna have to try to do like a thieving hands.
Yeah, it's kind of like
You have to
like pretend I'm just
that you're doing something
answering their
else and
command.
that you're trying to deceive them.
Yes, basically.
Roll deception.
Okay. So where's my
While he's doing that, Voldo, are you just kind of like cracking open stuff?
oh yeah,
Okay, as you
I'm taking a look at everything
Okay.
further. I'm pulling stuff out.
as you try to like reach to open up one of the guys just kind of like puts his hand on it. He just goes, "These need to be put aboard the RevJet."
Oh, my bad. My bad. I'm gonna take a step back.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to. Don't worry. All right, we'll make sure that these get these put on and get installed, and you guys should be good to go.
I rolled
Alright.
a 5 in deception.
Okay. As you tried to do something, you actually activate engines on the RevJet, and you can hear Morphin just going, "Whoa, whoa, 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 what's going on? What's going on?" All of a sudden, like your engines are just blaring and starting to power up. Not exactly what you wanted to do. A little slip of the
God,
fingers.
that's not the scanner button. That's the engines button. Damn it.
Did you say that out loud?
Well, if I rolled a 5, I probably would. Damn it, that's not the scanners. That's the
They
engines.
just go, "Sir, what's going on?" You can't
just
leave
trying to
before
do-
we get all these, these stuff on resources on board.
Pre-flight check. Have you ever heard of it? Pre-flight check. We got new systems on this on the RevJet now. We got to test them.
Oh, okay, understood. All right, sorry about that. Do you want us to get these on board?
No.
Yeah, leave them there. I need to make sure there's enough room and where I'm going to stow these things. RevJet's not exactly, a freighter train.
All right. And at this point, I'm going to do a quick temporal rift, transport right behind the main guy who's pacing back and
Pacing back and
forth,
forth.
and then I'm gonna pull my blood arrows on him and just step on him, put him to the ground, and just hold that arrow back at his head.
Oh, you're making some other attack before you try to do something like that because you're trying to restrain somebody.
Oh, okay. Then you know what? I'm just gonna skip the attack. I'm just gonna pull the arrow. I'm not trying to restrain him. I'm just gonna pull
Okay,
the
so
arrow.
you
on.
actually do a hostile
I do.
stance. So you
Sorry, Rev.
materialize your bow,
You do you.
and you're pointing it at the guy who's pacing angrily in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Both the guys immediately jump back and they're just like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" And the moment that the angry gentleman sees you do that, he becomes even more intensely angry, and it starts to sound like it's growling that's actually coming from him, something that is very much primal and not human.
I feel like this was the right move. I'm gonna slowly sway my boat to the other two guys and tell them to get out of here.
And with that, they both look at you and they're just like, unfortunately,
There we go.
we can't do that. And you see one of them
Ow.
take a button and he hits it. And
Boom.
no, what happens is one of the canisters opens up, and what you see inside of it is not the resources that he was talking about. There's no food, there's no water, there's nothing else in it except for a very, very large device that is spinning, and it feels like it's encased in like a silvery skin mirrors, and it just creates a holographic projection out. And you notice that you are inside another force barrier. That whatever is projecting out, the outside world cannot see what is happening inside.
They can't see me kill them. Okay.
With that, go ahead and roll your reaction,
Okay.
because this is your encounter, gentlemen.
7. Okay.
You change
16.
your numbers, right? Your modifiers.
Oh wait. Actually, minus 13.
They're all like ones now, and some of them don't carry stuff.
I didn't get the reaction change. I got a bunch of the others. I didn't get the reaction change. Is that where is that?
What do you have? Just read.
I originally had a -7.
Okay. Do you have awareness?
I do have awareness.
Okay, then write
yes.
down these numbers. It's good. Awareness is only 1 now. It used to be 3. Now it's only 1.
Oh no, I have that. I mean reaction. You were saying
Reaction modifier, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
all the numbers are just like ones. There's no 2s, there's no 3s, so it's really hard.
Right,
to get
they're all
7.
ones for those. Yeah, but I'm talking about reaction. Did reaction change? Is that what you said about?
5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, you just rolled a 7 flat.
No, my reaction is -7. Is that a number that changed? Because you said
Yeah, it
there's
should be.
changed numbers.
Because you can only
okay.
get in total. I only give 8 total points in reaction modifiers. So that means you would have to have had 7 out of the 8, which would be really hard.
No,
to
I
have.
think I'm confused about what you're talking
Okay,
about right
we'll just
now.
do
I
the
don't know
numbers
what you're
really
talking
quick here. Just tell me if you have
Mine's
awareness.
a -3.
Yours should be right. Do you have awareness,
Okay.
Ren?
Yes, I have
Okay,
awareness.
that's
Yeah.
1 point. Tell me some of the other keywords that you have.
Oh, I have athletics,
That's 2 points.
power,
Okay, so
awareness,
hold on.
mystical, and engineering.
Mystical is 1 point. Engineering is 0 points now. Awareness
Okay.
is 1 point.
Okay, I think I see what
Power
you're
is
saying now.
not
I never knew that.
any points now.
Okay.
So I think that puts you at 3 as well.
So my reaction is -3.
Yep.
Okay, I did not know that
Yep.
that was different. Sorry. -3. Okay. Let me re-roll then since I have
Absolutely.
the
Go
wrong
right
thing.
ahead.
All right. Well, I rolled a 4, so -3 is 1.
13
Ren's
total.
going first.
Yeah. Apparently having the wrong number was good luck for me or something.
Okay. Okay. So Rev is first. What did you get, Mike?
13 total.
Okay, so the next is this guy. Then it's. Ooh. Okay, so then it's. And Voldo. Okay, so Voldo, you're fourth going. Rev, what you see is once this force barrier is created, that whatever holographic image they were projecting now fades away. Almost like it's being shattered. But you do notice that as they start to reveal their true selves, that their body armor is almost infused in this like mirror-like fabric that's very much the same kind of mirror-like fabric that was used on the device.
Okay.
And in some ways, it's same way in a little bit of a mirror-like fabric that has been put into your body that allows you to do mirage and to become essentially camouflaged. Their idea, though, is they are creating complete different images and projections instead of making themselves disappear like you do. As that happens, go ahead, each roll one more time for awareness.
Okay.
19.
Yeah, 19 as well.
Right.
Each one of you roll well-being.
5.
That's constant. Oh, okay, that's the old
Yeah.
one. Yeah, 6.
Okay. You do pick up on the fact that when you see this, essentially this holographic projection device create this barrier and to create these illusions that are now being pulled away, that you can ever so slightly see that it's emitting like some kind of gas from it. Unfortunately, you each breathe it in.
Okay.
With that, you are up, Rev. What would you like to do? The very first guy, the two guys are standing in front of you. One is a 7-foot Saldarin, wielding a very large, dark, almost obsidian-like looking bladed axe, nearly almost matching his skin. He's fitted with heavy armor that is fitted with that almost metallic mirror-like fiber, and an open-face helmet bearing the colors of Sandormo, which is red and yellow. Large, dark, liquid eyes form near his almost featureless face, but his smile shows a custom dental work grill that bears skull and crossbones. The second is a very smaller human, standing about 6 foot. He's draped in the same mirror-like robe over light armor. He's wielding 2 custom handguns fitted with large undermounted bladed weapons for close combat. His hair is short, but his beard is long and braided. His eyes are covered with these red-shaped goggles. Upon his shoulder is a metallic winged avian, or essentially a bird. It's completely cybernetic, and you can see in the moonlight glisten off of it, or his wings are almost razor sharp, with vibrant white eyes. You can barely make out the skull and crossbones stitched upon the very shoulder pad that the avian is sitting upon. And lastly, the third, the one that was huffing and puffing and growling, is essentially 100% a waste hound. The waste hound is fitted with a golden collar. Rev has dealt with this before. The hound growls and paces back and forth, huffing and puffing, foaming at the mouth, awaiting its orders. The hound, though, is a bit different from the ones you've experienced in the wild before, as this one is heavily armored. Etched in the side armor are the same skull and crossbones. The large Saldarian doesn't speak to you at all, but the other guy does, the human. He just goes, "Hey, hi, well," and he's just kind of like taking his guns and he's like hitting them together, creating sparks from the 2 blades. He goes, "My name's Darlin. Nice to meet you, Commander. And here's my friend Pans." And Pans merely just goes, "Brr, brr." And he starts to kind of like almost war chant a little bit, like beefing himself up for battle.
Darlin and Pans, huh?
He goes, "Yeah, we're from the Dead Malls. Hired to bring you back in pieces if you don't mind. So let's just make it easy. Just drop your weapons and let us carve you up, and we'll be on our way. And we'll leave all your other friends alone. I think it's a fair deal. Don't you think, Pans?" And Pans just like, "Whoo, whoo, whoo."
Rev just says, "What do you think, Voldo? Should we let them take us in pieces?"
I feel like that's never a choice.
With that, it's up to you. What would you like to do? Marvin is still
The
just
one that
going,
was-
"Why are the engines on?"
Is he outside of the
No,
like?
he's sitting inside just going like, "Why are these engines?" And he's trying to power down the stuff.
What I mean is he outside of the like force field thing? Does
No,
he know
everything
that this is
is
happening?
encased. You're all in there, even the
Okay.
rev jet.
Okay.
Landing Bay
Oh, so
3 is completely encased, is what I'm saying.
Okay, good. So he's part of this
Yes.
fight.
He's completely unaware of what's happening outside, though.
Okay. Well, before I make any attack, I'm gonna yell out, "Marvin, get your gun!"
Okay. Marvin just goes. You hear him just go, "What's going on, boss?
Just get your gun.
We killing?
It's action
We
time.
killing Voldo? He's not out there, is he?
Stop asking questions. Get your gun. You don't want to die, right? Remember that thing? He doesn't. Get your gun.
That thing I predicted.
With that, Marvin jumps out right next to Voldo and he sees these two guys. He goes, "Holy shit! Who are you?"
I'm gonna
Looks like
point
it's,
my
"Who are these
arrow
guys,
at
boss?"
him.
And he just goes, "The scouts."
Rev doesn't answer. He thinks enough of an answer is going to be him attacking this guy.
Okay.
So that's what I'm immediately going to do. I'm going to use my newest ability, which is I can do a bonus first,
Sure.
right? Before a main.
Does not matter which way you spend those actions.
Okay. Mystical Blade is the new ability I swapped to, and that is the Cyber Jackal throws with power and accuracy its sword, or in my case, the Naginata Soul Blade, impaling its victim. It's got a 30-foot range. Am I in range of these guys
Well,
to do
you
that?
guys are essentially within 5 feet of one another. The only thing that's between you is the cases that has this device.
Okay.
So throwing
And that's
that,
what I do.
I'm not sure you can throw it. You would have to jump backwards to actually toss it. Because if you swung it, you're just gonna hit the guy. The
Just
Naginata is
smack him
pretty
with it.
long.
Man, I wanted to be cool and like throw my blade, then go in and then do an attack. But okay, I will.
Just jump back and then give it a fling and then
Okay,
go get it.
I'm going to use 10 feet of my movement
Sure.
to jump back, throw my mystical blade.
I am absolutely okay with that. So as
Okay.
Voldo, as Rev goes to attack, and you guys are like all standing next to each other, just out of the corner of your eyes, you see Rev just jump backwards. He goes, "Don't worry."
Then
It's like, "Don't worry, I'm still here."
I see all these guys with guns and bows, and I'm like, I need to learn how to throw. So,
Go for it.
and this is the one that I have skill level 2. Does that mean I get to use 2 dice to
Yes,
see if
you
I
do.
get a successful?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, I rolled a 6 and a 5.
Oh, wonderful. Yep. Yeah, they're hits.
Okay, so this one for skill 2 is 2d8 times. I had to use d8 for damage. Okay.
Which one are you hitting?
I'm gonna attack the guy who was
Talking
shit
Sure.
to us.
Makes sense.
Yeah, the guy with the bird on his shoulder, I guess.
Okay, go right ahead.
9 times 3, 27 damage.
Wow, nice.
That's my 2. Do I add on my damage that's because of my Naginata's special blade?
What is that?
It's equipped with the Calarium Photon Core Lance Tip that does +1 damage, +1 penetration. Does that apply here?
Yes. It essentially you're getting. He only had +1 AR, so the penetration will
So
bypass
basically-
it.
Okay.
And then how much was the other part of the damage?
It's just +1 damage
gotcha, okay.
apart from that. I assume that's after the 2d plus
Yep.
8 times
Absolutely.
whatever, and
Yeah,
then plus
that
one.
anything
Okay.
that's plus modifier, just give me at the after.
Okay, great. So it'd be 27 plus 1, I guess.
So Rev cybernetically jumps backwards, which is like the swiftness of a gazelle, and the agility, the agility of a ballerina. And then he just flings this huge long naginata that essentially just makes like one rotation before it hits it.
Yeah.
Because it's so big, it's just like, shoot.
He's like, why did you throw that at me?
And it just buries himself right into his shoulder, and he's just like, he starts to scream out, and he drops, and the avian just starts to flap, and just kind of hover above him instead of being still attached to his shoulder. What do you do after that? Your blade is still
since
just like he's trying to
it's
get it
stuck
out.
in him, yeah. So what I would like to do is use Fury of the Jackal, which allows me to leap to a target and attack. So what I'd like to do is jump at him, grab my thing, and do the Fury of the Jackal. Can I do that since I'm still within range?
Why not? Absolutely.
All right, so I
he
jump
jumps
backwards,
throws, and he jumps
I jump
forward,
back, grab it,
grabs it. Okay.
and then I want to actually attack his bird because I don't know what this
Ooh.
bird is going to do.
Go for it.
So I actually want to use Fury of the Jackal on this,
Go for it. Absolutely.
whatever this bird is. So that's my level 3 skill. So I get 3d6 for that. Ooh, I rolled a 5, 1, and 1, but the 5 means I
Five's a
hit, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, sweet. So it does say I can hit up to 2 targets with this if I choose.
Sure.
So can I do 1 attack on the bird and then 1 on the guy that I knocked
Absolutely.
down?
Go for it.
Okay. So do I need to roll again for the second attack to see if it hits, or does that count as
Yeah,
both hitting?
it's a double attack unless it says you have to spend more exhaust to do it.
Actually, it's more exhaustive if it's a
Okay,
single
then
target.
If it's a single
Then
target,
it's just a hit. Yeah, it says if only a single target, you can spend -1 to hit target twice.
oh, okay, I got you. Okay, yeah, if you're using that to try to split it and hit something else, then you have to try to hit the other one.
Okay, all right. So let me roll again to see if I hit the other.
He's dropping
Sorry,
dice.
I'm out of practice.
He's
with
dropping
this.
dice, gentlemen. The dice never lie. To all those people out there, the dice
All right,
never
got
lie.
4, 5, and 6. So I hit that
Yeah,
one.
that's a hit.
Okay, so it's 3d10 times 3 for this.
Whoa. So you can max out as 30.
Yeah, this is my big attack. So 12 times 3 is what, 36 plus the 1 damage, so 37.
Who are you hitting first?
I want to pull out the blade and hit the bird first.
Okay.
Yeah, giggity.
As you do that, as you pull it out and you just strike at the bird, you can hear him just go, "No!" And so you just slice the bird in half.
Nice.
Just like flapping wings just go like, and they're just like.
Red's a cyber jackal. He's like his mortal enemy is flying birds.
Yeah, he hates birds.
Hates birds.
You know, you slice that thing right down the middle, shear it in two. He screams out bloody murder that you've killed that guy, and now you then take it and re-angle it back down onto him.
Yeah, after I do that, so you said he was down, so I
Yeah,
just kind
he's
of
like
want
on one knee.
Okay, I want to do like a piercing thrust at him.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay.
A piercing thrust after you pull out?
Oh. Well done.
20 times 3,
That's 60.
so 60 plus 1
That's
damage.
60. Okay, so as he screams out and he's like, "No!" as he sees his bird come down, you just come down and you just straight decapitate this guy.
Rev is not happy about them defiling his rev jet, by the way.
In the back of your head, as you do this and you see his head roll, you're just like, decapitations are like really trendy these days.
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it.
Decapitations are so hot right now.
I wish I could. Every time anyone says that we should use that, and then I just put up a picture of Mogatu, it's just like, decapitation's so hot right now.
So hot right now.
Gotta quickie that.
There you go. As you see that, is there anything else you'd like to do after you've just sheared this guy's head off?
No, that's my attacks. I'm feeling pretty vindicated
Okay.
right now.
Unfortunately, his Saldarian friend is not happy at all. And instead of, and he's going to attack the closest person, and unfortunately, Marvin is right in front of his face.
Marvin. Oh,
So he's gonna go after Marvin here, and he is just like, he starts to just like straight hardcore war chant, and he's not actually saying anything. It's just like, like he's just building and puffing himself up for this huge attack. So what he's going to do,
Marvin, no.
and Voldo is next to him, so he's gonna do Tornado Strike, which gets to hit him and Voldo.
Wait, advanced dodge.
Are you gonna try to
Actually,
advance
wait.
dodge?
Let him swing
You
first.
try to advance
Let him
dodge?
swing first, because I can do it in response.
As he goes to swing his first attack, you both, because it's like a huge axe, it's slow enough that you actually see this thing coming, and Marvin just instinctually just drops to his knee on the ground.
Yes, go
Just
Marvin.
pure survival. It's like stop, drop, and just don't move.
Cowardice serves you well here.
Voldo, cool like, just kind of like parries out of the way.
Right.
Unfortunately, he's gonna just keep it going and try it again.
He's got the momentum going. Might as
And
well
this
keep
one
going.
he does hit. So he catches just the timing. He sees you both do it, and then you both kind of pop back up to get hit. You're like, wow, I
Oh,
really
man.
like parried that one. That was great. Slap.
Okay, can I advance dodge in response
Sure,
then? Or?
absolutely. In response, you can
All
always advance dodge.
right.
Unfortunately, Marvin does not have advanced dodge unless he does. Does he?
He has. What does he have? I don't think so. He has something. What does he have? He has quick dodge. You can attempt to avoid and only take half damage.
Would you like him to
It's a
try to do
bonus
that?
action.
That is an in response skill.
It doesn't say in response.
It's an in
but I
response.
can.
Any dodge is an in
Okay.
response. I just didn't write it in.
Absolutely, he wants to
Okay.
try to quick dodge.
What does
that
your
and take
advanced
half
dodge
damage.
do?
Oh, sorry.
Blah, blah, blah. Odd roll half damage, even roll no damage.
Okay, just go ahead and roll first, if you don't mind.
1.
Odd roll half damage?
Half.
Okay, so you both take half, no matter what.
Okay.
Okay. 7. It's going to be 16 points of damage,
Ha!
minus any armor rating, obviously.
Okay.
There's
so
no
if
phase
he
on
takes
this.
half, oh, is that the half amount?
No,
is
that's a
16?
full. You do the half.
Okay,
it's
so it'd be
Okay.
8,
Yep.
and then minus whatever the armor
Right,
is, correct?
Whatever his is.
Okay, so he's got 1 armor, so that would be 7.
He doesn't seem to be too happy with not being able to get clean cuts into either one of you, and merely thinking that he actually did hit you. They're almost like glancing grazing shots off both of Marvin, who's not exactly the most agile individual at all. He's more of a negotiator.
He's just like rolling around on the ground.
It's
trying
everything's
to
like
avoid it.
instinctual. Like, if I move, if I zig and zag just enough, I'll be so random that he won't be able to find. He won't be able to hit me. And obviously, because of Voldo's ability to be completely agile, is able to completely deflect and kind of parry off these would be pretty fatal blows. The next person is going to be that waste town that is back behind, and with that one, he's going to jump at Rev.
Okay.
So with that one, he's going to just leap directly at you,
Okay.
and he does hit.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have an advanced dodge
Waste
or anything
town's
like
on my-
that you want to toss?
No, I don't have any. I don't have anything like that.
Okay.
I just have armor. That's all I have.
All right. Then he is going to pounce slam upon you.
Okay.
Take 6 points of damage, whatever your armor rating is, which is like 1.
I have 6 armor.
Okay, so you don't take any points of damage, but you are pinned to the ground at least.
Okay, so I'm like kind of immobilized,
Yeah.
I guess.
You could we'll take it as a restrained. If you got hit, it would be a stun. But there's a ton of weight that is essentially.
Yeah, so
on
I'm
you.
like basically I'm like
Yes,
fighting him off from
absolutely.
like coming at my throat.
And with that,
Okay.
he's going to try to bite you as he's on top of you.
Okay.
And you're able, with your Naginata, to just jam it into his mouth. And you're just every time he makes a strike, you're pushing it away.
Yeah.
You're getting
I'm fighting animals today.
You're getting a whole lot of saliva though all over your face.
Oh, it's gooey.
It's so viscous. With that, Rev, what would you like to do?
Wait.
You mean Voldo, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Voldo is the last guy next to Marvin. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm gonna use my arrow shot. and it's 2d6 times 3.
Okay,
I'm
who
gonna
are you
use that on the
hitting?
guy who just swung an axe
Gotcha,
at me.
not a problem. It'd
Alright.
probably be
Yeah.
best. He is relatively in melee. I would probably jump back to create distance as well. You're using a ranged weapon. It's really
Okay,
hard.
I'll jump
You got
back.
to think like if you're using a bow to try to stick that up and try to fire something that's right in front of a guy, the guy would just be able to. You're not getting any pull
Okay.
off of that at all.
I'll jump back 15 feet.
Sure.
if
To make
that's
sure
possible.
you're
Yeah,
getting
okay.
all the feet per second power out of that.
All right. So I got a 5 and a 4.
Okay, yeah, the
Uh,
hits.
Oh wait, that's 2d6 damage.
Was this a? This was the ability you
This was-
upgraded, right? To stage 2.
Yeah, red rain.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
it is. You would roll 2. Yep. So you do hit.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait,
so I
is
got
this AOE damage?
Wait, what?
Is this AOE damage? Red rain?
AOE?
Area of effect.
Area of effect.
I don't. Is red rain? Shoot, I,
think
didn't
red
write
rain
it down
is
if
area
it
of
was.
effect. That means
Here, I might be able to.
you
pull
would
it up
you'd be
here.
able to get. No, essentially you're just dumping it all on him. You'd be
Okay.
dumping it all
Yeah,
on
it's-
him
it's-
and Marvin.
I thought it was enemies only. It's not
Does it
enemies
say that?
only. So I'm trying. Let me pull that up. Here we go. Red rain. Is it attack? No, just all targets. So is he a target?
He's within it. What's the
Okay.
What is the amount here? Yeah, because it's a 30-foot radius of the point of attack.
Oh my God! Is he raining on all of us?
He's going
He
down.
jumps 15 feet back and he fires it up into the air and it just comes back down as it splinters.
Oh God!
Yep.
My bad.
So,
My
well,
bad.
luckily enough, it would hit Rev, but he has a big wolf
There's a dog
on
on
top of him
me,
who's
so
gonna
hopefully that won't
take the
affect-
blood
Okay.
of all the arrows. Poor Marvin,
All right,
though.
I like that.
Freaking Marvin.
Sorry if I kill you, Marvin. I told you what
This
was
would have been great if
happening.
he had advanced dodge now.
Oh my God!
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so 2d6, rolling them. 5, 3. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 24. Yeah, 24 damage.
24 damage? Gotcha.
Yeah.
How much armor rating does Marvin have?
He has 1.
He's taking
Take
23
damage
points of
from his
damage.
attack. Oh my God! You're doing more damage to our team than their team. God.
Sorry.
I'm not dead, or he's not dead. Actually, I didn't want to ask. I don't think I have a reaction on Marvin. Does he just always go last? He's an ally.
Marvin
went before
always
me.
is going to go last, no matter what.
I'm talking about Marvin. Marvin's my ally, so I think I'm
Yeah, okay.
No, yeah, Marvin always goes last for you.
okay.
Okay.
That's cool. That's wanted to make sure.
Okay. You do just put a bunch of just these materialized arrows directly into Marvin, who just like starts to scream out in pain as they all just slam into his legs. The moment they do, they immediately dematerialize as well. But as Rev doesn't have time to deal with that, he's fighting Dog. Dog just screams and howls out in pain as it actually kind of like his back gives as you just see these arrows go right into his back. Rev even sees a few of them as they start to descend, and he kind of like moves like the head to like take
Got 5 headshots in.
It is as soon
I'm
as
thinking, thanks, Voldo.
Yeah.
As I hear Marvin scream in pain.
as soon as obviously the arrows hit and they do their damage, they immediately dematerialize. Besides just getting a ton of saliva and foam, now it's starting to be a blood that is now dripping onto your face now.
Like, oh my God, it's gooey and it's warm
is
and
it-
so
Why is it
Don't talk.
red?
Don't talk.
Why is it so gooey? Do you have anything else that you could do, Voldo?
What did I see any of these people die?
No, but
From this
Marvin is
attack.
like rolling just in pure pain. The dog,
Okay,
the dog
so,
is still alive.
So please don't do another AOE
Wait.
attack. That's all I ask.
Oh, I'm sorry. 20,
Okay.
Hold on.
So it's 24 and then minus whatever armor for your characters, I guess, damage.
The large Saldarin. I almost forgot he was there.
Yeah, it's like he takes damage
Yeah.
too, I assume.
He tries to like hold his like axe blade up to try to like deflect some of them, and instead he just misses just poorly, and everything just like shoot right into his thing, and he just drops to one knee. As well,
Okay.
he's like holding and trying to like stop some of the bleeding and stuff like that, but you could see that he looks pretty battered as well.
Okay, I'm gonna pass my bonus this time.
You gonna hold it?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Marvin do some damage.
Poor Marvin. What would you can hold your bonus action, and you could use it at some point, at any point, to do it as an in response.
Yeah.
Not to take that
That's
away,
what I'm gonna hold
but
it.
this in response thing that we both did earlier with a dodge, does that not count as your bonus ability? That's something you
No,
can
it
do
always it should always count as a bonus ability. If you use it, then just in this case, then just make sure you don't use a bonus next turn.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
anything
if
that's
I
in
use...
response, everything carries a main or a bonus. So you can
Okay.
always do
So
it.
this turn I don't have a bonus.
You shouldn't have any bonus on this one. That'd be correct.
Okay, then I'm gonna
Okay.
pass
Because
it.
you use the
obviously.
bonus to dodge.
Okay.
Marbin would have no bonus as well. He can only do a main.
Right, yeah. That's why I was asking, because he doesn't have a
That makes
bonus
100%
since he used
sense,
quick
yeah.
dodge.
So Marvin gets to his feet using like the gun as like a crutch now to try to
Yeah.
pull himself off, and he's just like, "What the hell did I do to you? What was that?" He's just like, he's so pissed at just what happened.
I told you his friends die.
Unfortunately, he's
Yeah,
literally
usually it's not my other friends killing them, though.
Unfortunately, he's like trying to have this conversation. He's only just staring at Voldo, while Rev is just like, "Guys, come on! I got this. Still got a dog here. What do you want to do?"
Well, Marvin, in excruciating pain, wants to
Absolutely.
run his maximum range, which is 30 meters or
So
whatever.
he doesn't exactly run. He kind of limps.
He
He
hobbles 30 meters away.
absolutely.
Everybody's
Turns
staring
around.
at him.
Turns around, takes aim. He kind of looks at Voldo like he wants to shoot Voldo in the
Absolutely,
face,
He would.
Of course.
but then decides there's a dog on top of Rev, so he should probably shoot at the dog.
Sure, makes sense. The crosshairs go
he's
from
going to
Voldo's
use-
face down to the dog.
Yeah.
Then it goes.
He thinks about it. There's like.
Then it goes back up to
I
Voldo's
guess."
face, and then no, back to the dog.
So he's going to try to do steady shot,
Okay,
which is a stun if it hits.
sure, go for it.
I assume I just do 1d6 for this attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
To see if I hit.
Mhm.
Come on. Mama needs to not be salivated on anymore. And he rolled a 3.
As he fires his shot and it goes high wide,
Does it hit Voldo instead?
you know what, Voldo?
Advanced dodge.
Voldo, roll a d20.
Oh, motherfucker. uh, 17.
Yeah, he hits Voldo.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
As Voldo is just
So when he said he was aiming back at the dog, apparently he slipped and shot at Voldo.
it's just like
On
Accidentally.
accident.
as he takes aim and he puts the crosshairs on it, a searing pain causes him to flinch from his wounds, and it's kind of like and she's like, "Whoa!" And it hits Voldo. Go ahead and do damage.
This normal damage is actually a 3d10 times 2. So
Oh, I'm dead. Okay.
no, let me see.
I'm just-
That's only
let's hope
three.
I
It's only
roll low.
3 d10s. No matter what, Voldo, you're only gonna take half. I'm only gonna hit you at half.
So 15 times 2. That would have been 30 damage.
So you take 15. As essentially he just
mother
blows a
of-
big hole into the side of your shoulder.
Okay, so now Marvin's gonna die.
Well, you did do 23 to him.
Exactly. You guys are
so-
running
He's not
even.
allowed to do damage to me.
Oh my god, we're shooting each other now. We're devolving. It's like Otis is still here.
Rev.
Oh wait.
As Rev
It's-
sees that and he hears Voldo
9.
scream out in pain, like, "You shot me! You shot me!" You think to yourself, Otis was a pretty good shot. Still could go back and get that arm. But you have no really true idea of what the heck is going on because you're trying to like fight.
Yeah,
this
I don't know
thing.
what's happening. I just hear, Voldo screaming and Marvin screaming.
They're screaming at each other at this point. Rev,
So, I assume I have to try to get this dog off
probably.
of
If
me,
you want to
right?
try to push him off, you're gonna have to try to make a power. So essentially, it's just gonna
Okay.
be your roll versus my roll.
Okay. I do have the power.
Do you have the power? Then you'll
keyword.
have your plus
do.
3.
Okay. All right. So it's a D20,
My
right?
guy does not. So
Ooh, I rolled a 22.
whew, I rolled a 16.
Ooh.
So you see that he's trying to bite down, and you just start to bench press this thing.
bench press.
And as he does that, he tries to like take
waist
his
down.
head and just like snap at you even more, and you're pushing this thing off, and you actually just toss this thing out and are able to roll back to your feet.
Okay.
He just kind of like flops
first-
like a limp dog, and then kind of gets back up.
The first thing I see is that Voldo and Marvin are both bleeding from many wounds. So the first thing I want to do is actually use a skill I swapped out called spiritual regeneration on Marvin.
Ooh, well,
Not
yeah,
on- not on
Marvin
Voldo.
is so happy. Marvin just doesn't know this is going to happen, but I'm to assume Marvin would be happy.
Let me pull up. Sorry, I need the skill description real fast here. I went up to look at what Red Rain did, and I lost my Cyber Jackal abilities here. Do I have to roll for a heal, or do you just do they automatically
No,
hit?
as long as you spend it, it's going to be an automatic for you.
Okay. It's only skill 1, so it's hums an ancient tune of hope and peace to one weary soul. If successful, you feel the weary soul for a brief moment with the spirits of the ancients. So it's 1 VP per round for 3 rounds. Or 2 VP per round.
Oh, okay, so it's like a
Like
tick.
it's a heal over
Yeah,
time.
HOT.
Yes.
Yep, go for it.
Does he immediately get that first 2 VP?
Well, let me check here. Does it say how many times you can use it?
Twice per
Okay.
day.
He would get it on the first tick.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he gets
there's an
2
instant
VP.
one, and then there's another one after that.
So then he gets 2 more rounds after this of heal. Okay.
Okay, so essentially he's gonna get 6 VP back in total.
Yeah, over
As
the
long
3
as he
rounds.
doesn't get hit. Okay,
Right.
go for
And
it.
that actually doesn't say if it's a main or a bonus here.
If it's usually a heal, it's most likely a bonus for you.
It's a bonus. Okay. Then now I look at this dog
Sure.
that was just salivating all over my face,
Of course.
and I would like to use Fury of the Jackal on this dog
Okay, go for it.
to try to blast his head off here. So that's my upgraded skill 3 hit. Oh god, I just rolled a 1, 1, and a 4, so I missed.
Okay, so you go to swing your blade, and you actually toss this thing over its head.
I dropped my Naginata.
It just goes.
I was in
Shoo,
heal
shoo, shoo,
mode,
shoo,
not
shoo.
damage mode, apparently.
He throws it pretty well, and about probably like 50, maybe 60 feet out, you just see it just go ching and just drop. So the as far out as the barrier goes.
Great.
With that,
Well, now I'm weaponless standing
completely
there.
weaponless, Pans is going to attack. Wow, he can't attack. He's going to attack Voldo at this point because Voldo's the closest, and Voldo did just drop a huge amount of like rain of arrows on him. So
feel like
how
doing
many?
it again.
You ran about 15 feet back.
Yeah, 15.
So total 15. So he'll use all his movement to get right up into your face. And no, he's not. He's going to take his axe and he's just going to put it above his head and he's going to fling it at you from where
We're
exactly
just all
he's at.
throwing our
Yeah,
weapons around today.
from where he's at. So, he hits.
Advanced dodge.
Okay,
2.
you're
No damage.
no damage. Okay,
No damage.
so it does hit you. You don't take any damage, but as it happens, he immediately teleports right to your face. And with that, he's going to attack you again, point blank. And he hits. You're going to take 2d8 plus 2. You take 20 points of damage, minus whatever your 6 points of armor rating you have. Unfortunately, he can do nothing else because he spent all his action and his movement to get up to you. The Waste Town is going to continue to keep attacking Rand because now he's super ticked off, and now Rand has no weapon.
Yeah, now I got nothing to block.
So with that, you probably threw him probably about 20 feet. He's probably going to use all his speed to get right up to you.
Okay.
And he's just gonna slash at you. He's gonna get as close as he can
Okay.
and just slash. And the first one, he gets to do it twice. The first one he misses,
Okay.
and the second one he misses as well.
Nice. We're just whipping at each other.
He misses as well. He used all his speed to get up to you. Oh man, I don't think I can do anything.
He's still bleeding out from
Yeah,
You
but you
know.
don't have anything that carries bleed.
Voldo.
Okay, that's gonna end his turn. I guess that falls into Voldo, and then Marvin.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me a layout of how far away is Marvin from any actual person?
Marvin is.
Vin?
Rev said he was
He went 30 yards,
feet
whatever, 30.
away from
Yeah.
30 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay. And Rev
you.
is
Rev's essentially
right
about
up.
like 5 or so feet away from you.
Yeah, me and the dog are like
Alright.
right there.
Okay.
The big guy is right in front of your face, as well as the dog is essentially right up next to Rev.
Okay. So, sorry, Rev. I'm gonna transport about 20 feet back, and I'm going to
You're
range.
just moving again.
Yeah, moving.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. I'm jumping back
Gotcha.
20 feet.
Because you the only
And
reason
then
I said,
I'm-
you said transport him like you do in temporal rift.
Oh yeah, no.
you're just
Yeah,
moving
sorry.
away.
I wanna
Gotcha.
move. Yeah, I want to move back 20 feet, and then I am going to.
You do red rain again, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. yeah, I'm gonna do Red Rain again,
Go for it.
but this time Marvin's out of the way.
Marvin,
Oh my god.
in the distance, Marvin's just going, it's Marvin with a B.
Actually, I'm gonna aim my arrow at him and then slowly point it up in the
Go
air.
for
All right,
it. Let her rip.
4.
You miss.
You miss.
Yeah.
You
Thank God.
You
Jesus,
fire-
stop attacking your own teammates. My God.
Hey, you know what? After this, we're all going to those tanks.
It's one at a time, you know. We can't squeeze in together.
In our ship.
Before you can,
In the
before
palace,
you even
there's
leave,
more
you
than
already
one.
have to go into a tank.
Oh hell yeah!
God.
With that, yeah, you fire it up, but obviously your angle of descent is just you're pushed too far out, and so it
Okay.
Probably hit some
it's
other
more
people
like,
that
it's
are
more
friends
like
of ours.
60
You know?
feet that you actually 60 feet away when it just like spreads out.
Okay, then in that case, for my bonus, I'm gonna use just blood arrows.
Go for it.
And
But you advanced dodge earlier.
Oh,
you
that's right, I
did.
did.
Yeah,
Never
that's
mind.
right. Yeah.
I'm like, you don't get to do stuff. You keep trying to shoot me.
This one wouldn't
You've been dodging. You've been dodging all week.
have.
I don't care if it wouldn't hit me. I don't trust it. I don't trust this guy.
Okay.
Fine, banishment rift. You all go into a hole.
God.
It is Marvin's turn.
Okay. Marvin's going to again try to steady shot. This time he wants to hit the big
He
swear to
guy.
cannot
God.
hit Voldo at this point at all. Because there's no
Okay.
there's no way you can miss 30 feet off the thing at this point, dude.
Well, he wants to shoot at the big guy that's right in front of
Not a
Volt
problem. Go for
this
it.
time.
I transported way back.
Yeah. So he's going to go for big Soldarin guy
Sure, go for it.
with his steady shot again. Please hit. Please hit.
Steady.
Steady,
Not so steady.
4. Missed.
Marvin
Oh
takes
my God.
Marvin steadies himself again, but even with a little bit of healing, he would take another 2 because it's his next turn for
This
him.
is
right?
still the
Oh,
same
it's the
round, though,
that's-
right?
I'm sorry, that is still the same.
So next round
he's
he'll get
still
2
kind
more.
of reeling from the wounds, and when you actually gave him the gun, you still remember in your head, he's just like, I don't know how to use this. Still kind of.
And I'm like, you'll learn.
You'll be
learn.
fine. It's all about experience.
Yeah, you just gotta trial and error.
Unfortunately, up to
you
this
know?
point, he's not really up to this point. He still is pretty garbage at this really
Yeah.
kind of high-powered rifle, and just the concussive blast of the rounds just cause it to recoil too much, and his shot goes high.
Damn it, Marvin.
Is there anything else he can do,
So,
or did he advance dodge again?
his only bonus is a quick dodge. He has 2 main actions and a
does
quick
he?
dodge,
Okay.
so he'll hold his bonus. He gets 1 exhaust back from doing that, though.
Yes,
I guess.
he does.
Right? Okay. Cool.
He does, absolutely, and he can actually just hold that dodge at this point.
Yeah, he'll hold the dodge, and he will just stay in cover to
Sure.
try to not get shot by
Rev,
Voldo anymore.
You're up.
Uh,
You have 2
I'm
things
just-
right in front of you, and everybody who's your
Yeah.
ally has now jumped away from you.
yeah. So I'm kind of surrounded.
So, yeah,
You know, Rev is kind of in a rage right now with this dog that's slabbered all over his face. So he's going to try to Fury of the Jackal to both of these guys.
Go
So he's
for
going
it.
to try to hit 2 targets with this
I love
thing.
it. Go for it. Rock and roll.
This is 3d6. Don't tell me I miss all of them again. Oh, okay, I got a 5.
Nice.
So that's 1, and so I need to roll to hit the other guy.
Yep.
Right? Okay. All right, and I rolled a 6.
Okay,
So I hit
so you hit 'em
both.
both.
Okay, so this is damage is 3d10 times 3. 10 times. This is the dog first time hitting
Gotcha,
since
go
he's
for it.
close to me. 11 times 3 plus 1, 33, 34 damage.
So essentially, it's 29.
Motherfucker better be dead.
Freaking dog, man. Slobbered all over my face.
Okay. You take
and-
take your attacks, and you notice that the wounds that you've been inflicted on him are starting to get larger and larger, and he's starting
Nice.
to slow down a little bit here.
Okay. And then I do the damage to the other guy,
Yep.
right?
You're attacking pans.
20 times 3, 61 damage. Minus whatever your armor is.
You explain to me how you sheared this guy in half.
After poking and prodding at this dog, I turn to this guy and I just jump and I want to spear him right through the chest because this is a big guy. I feel
Sure.
like that's a target I can't miss.
Okay. Yeah, you use your cybernetic legs and you propel yourself at double the double power of probably of obviously Marvin's legs could do from it if Marvin was in good shape. His legs are pretty shabby
Channel
right
Marvin's
now.
rage.
And you just take your weapon and you just, as if it's like a spear from the heavens, it just goes right through this guy like butter, through his armor, through everything.
And as he dies, his essence flows into my
Yes, it
Naginata
does.
blade.
And
And the other guys did too, so I have two essence
that's right.
now.
Yeah. Though unfortunately, the bird doesn't count.
No essence from the bird,
No,
damn.
this is for the bird. You do see
He has
that
no
there
soul.
are 2 lit up indicators on your blade, unless you had one in it before. I don't remember.
I don't remember. I would have used them over
Yeah,
the 6
so
months.
you have 2 lit up
so-
indicators now within
Okay.
your hilt.
Okay. So I have a bonus. I kind of want to hold my bonus for now.
Okay.
I'm not going to pass it, but I'm going to hold
Okay.
it.
So it's going to be the Waste Hound's turn.
Yes.
In most cases, the Waste Hound would probably have left, but he's controlled, so he's compelled to fight. So he's going to just run back up into your face again to attack, and he's going to try to.
He's tenacious. I'll give him
try to
that.
bite you, and he hits.
Okay.
10. He does 20 points of damage,
Okay, 20
and
minus
you
my 6,
take
so that's
bleed.
14. Okay.
So that's essentially I
36.
believe it's 2 VP over time until you
Okay.
decide to try to heal it.
Okay. So 2. Do I take the 2 of that damage immediately, or
No,
do I wait
you
till the
take it
next
on
turn to
the
take
next
it?
turn.
Okay. 2 VP a turn. Okay.
Okay. With that, he's going to try to then restrain you and slam you back down.
Okay.
And that one, he does not succeed at. You see him
Nice.
coming, and you just toss this dog off to the side. Now the dog, it's like you're
Yeah.
fighting with a dog who like wants to lick you, and you're just kind of like, no, get out of here, go.
Jackal versus
Unfortunately,
dog.
this dog wants to kill you. Voldo, you were up.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my blood arrows. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull out my blood arrows and yeah, just 1d8 times 2 on this guy.
Okay.
3.
Okay.
So you missed.
Yeah.
I would like to use my bonus to hasted assault, which is you or an ally gets to make a main attack again at 1 exhaust less 1 time per day.
Okay. Are you ticking off your vitality every time you're using them?
Yeah. This one I haven't yet.
Okay,
But
so you lost.
so it's -3
you would've
right
lost,
now.
Yeah, you lost 3. Are you gonna just try to do 3 again with the benefit of
Why
his?
not?
Okay, go for it.
It's like
Actually, you know what?
Because
If
every
I'm
time
gonna
he uses
do
blood arrows, he has to sacrifice some of his own vitality to
Okay.
do it.
yeah,
Okay.
vitality. You know, I'm gonna use matter of death this time on the stupid dog.
Okay, I can tell you for sure it's not an elite. So if you if you do cut its head off, then you're good to go.
That's the hope.
Make sure you
5.
make sure that you X off the VP first, so you know that you've done it. So it's 2. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you hit.
Yeah.
Now roll the d6 again to see what you get.
This one, yeah.
Reb notices he was shooting at the dog.
6.
That's why he actually
Oh,
said, "Okay,
you
take another shot."
He decapitates him. What did you,
Nice.
tell me exactly what you do. How do you decapitate it with cool arrows? Do you take out like 3 and make it like this, like fire 3 at it, and they're so close
First,
together?
I'm gonna punch the dog. First, I'm
Of
gonna
course.
punch the dog in the face.
Okay, you should
knock him to the
so
ground.
you spend all your movement to get up to the dog to punch it. It just
Punch
just
the
goes.
dog.
Punch him. Exactly. Hits the ground.
Okay.
Then I pull out 3 arrows
Oh,
and then
like
just
point
say
blank at this point.
point blank right at his neck
just
and
shear
just
it.
smile and then just boom. Actually,
Dog's
first I
wrist.
aim it at Marvin and then I aim it at the dog.
At this point, Marvin doesn't even like. He's not even looking at you. He's just like bandaging himself up. He's just like, I can't shoot, so I might as well dodge myself up.
And then yeah, I just shear the
Okay,
the
so
dog's
actually,
head
yeah,
off.
you get up next to it and you just take your foot actually, and you try to pin this waste hound down, and you move the collar out of the way so you can see the exposed neck. so you don't have to fire
Yeah,
through the collar,
okay.
and you just shear this thing right off.
Nice.
Can I attach its head to my belt or something?
I don't. It's pretty heavy.
Okay.
It's like a 9-foot
Fine.
waist hound.
Just
Rev's
its
like,
scalp.
not bringing that with you on the rev jet, by the way.
Rev's wiping away the blood. He's just like, I don't want more blood.
See, I don't want this on my rev jet.
With that, you've eliminated all the targets. What would you guys like to do? The force
Go through these
barrier
pockets.
is still active.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over to Marvin. I'm gonna cut his arm off.
Marvin advanced dodges all day.
Fine. Fine. All right, then I'm gonna say we should go back to that grave. We should dig up Otis.
Dude, there's like 2 other guys with arms here you could take. You don't have to take my friend's arms. There's like dead people right there.
Yeah, but are they? How good of shots are they?
Well, how good of a shot is Marvin? He missed all his shots. You don't want his arm.
Exactly. No. We should go replace his arm with an Otis arm.
Oh my god.
What happens is Marvin, who's holding himself up with the gun, like using it as a crutch,
How can he advance dodge in that state?
because he's Marvin. He's been holding advanced dodge.
I know.
He just goes, boss. He just goes, honestly, let's just get out of here. Let's go. There's no reason for us to stay here. If they know we're here, then it makes things worse for us. If we have a
there's
job,
no place safe if they're
we
gonna
need to
get us
go.
here.
Yeah, I'm down over half life. We need
He
to at
looks
least
at you
go
and just
soak in
goes,
the
maybe
tank.
he should go in the Rico tank first. The Rico vat first.
Marvin's less than half life.
I was
but
gonna
he's also
say.
our-
He's also the
our
pilot. That's the
so-
problem.
yeah, he's got to fly us. Well, okay. Rev says, Marvin, go get the Rev jet primed.
It's already primed.
I
You
wanna
never
look
turn
through-
off the engines.
Oh, that's right.
You've
I
been,
accidentally turned on the engine.
burning
earlier.
fuel this whole time, but I mean, whatever.
Okay.
I was gonna say
Well-
you gotta land it first.
I still want to go through these guys' pockets. I want to see where they're from. I want to see if there's any sort of ID or
Marvin jumps.
data chips or
Marvin
something.
actually runs over to help Voldo to get him in, and just goes,
Really?
"Listen, the recovery vat is good to go. Just get in it.
Okay.
And we'll,
All right,
we'll
all right.
get this thing primed and let's just get the heck out of here."
I just look at him with
He
squinty
actually
eyes,
looks at you and he
wondering
just
what
goes,
his deal is.
"Listen, I'm sorry, I really didn't mean to do that. He goes, I'm just not a good shot."
I noticed.
You're like, I noticed.
So these 2 guys get in. If you want to go ahead and just make quick investigation checks
Yep.
to see these things.
Investigation. I rolled a 17.
For both of them, you notice that they don't really have anything of importance on them, but they do have
Okay.
their sidekicks.
Okay. I want to just grab both their sidekicks and take them with me, like I'm going to try to hack into them while
They're
we're
on. They're
while
on.
we're
They're
flying.
pretty tight. You're not worried about that. You just shear them off. You shear them straight off.
That's right.
Obviously, the waist hound doesn't have one on there, but you do notice that it's got that same collar that's been on a lot of the other things, as well as some of the children. It starts to become a reoccurring thing that you keep seeing.
Is this something I could use my plasma cutter to cut off and take with me to study?
Absolutely.
Or chop its head off. No, its head is already off.
Oh,
Actually,
the head's
head's
already
off,
off.
so I
You
guess
can
I
just kind of just take it right off.
Yes,
There we
take it
go.
off.
It actually just kind of like, shoot, just right off.
All right, nice. Thanks, Voldo. For...
Yeah.
So I got
Thanks
2
for that
sidekicks and a
assist.
collar that I get to study.
Yeah. With that,
Okay.
you guys.
I also have hacking.
Yeah, I guess you both would have hacking, but he puts you in the Rico vat immediately and starts to get that thing primed and ready to go to help start healing your wounds. As he just kind of like comes like limping out, and he's like, "Boss, we should go."
All right, let's go. I immediately grab what I could to try to investigate, and I just run onto the Rev jet to get out of there.
And with that, you jump on. He lifts up the back doors. He limps his way to the pilot's seat, as you walk by and you see Voldo now in the Rico tank, just going. You sit down and he just goes, "We going to get the doc?"
Yeah, straight to Los Rivos.
He just goes, "Okay, I'll plug in the coordinates. Maybe you should leave a message for the old High Commander to be looking out. They have infiltrators here."
I'll immediately start typing out on my sidekick a message to Commander Lilia about what we just encountered.
And with that, he just guns it and starts to take out, makes a beeline towards Los Rivos, and that's where we will end our session here tonight.
Yes, nobody's dead on the first
Nobody
episode.
died here on the first episode, so that
close.
is
Super
It was
close.
close. Yeah,
That was close.
All shooting each other.
How close were you at any point, Mike?
I was
Because
down.
when he said, does he hit Voldo with that shot, and it was like 20, 30 points? When he gave it to you, I heard you I saw you just kind of went, ugh.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot.
If I didn't like do the half damage on that, that would have 10.
It took you down
Like,
to 10?
well, no, because the half damage and all
Sure.
that stuff. Currently, I am at 28 from 57.
Wow.
Wow,
okay.
you have more health than Rev. Holy crap.
Weird.
How many health?
You use health to do
Yeah.
attacks. So I'm sure the red
He has,
card-
he
Yeah,
has to
that's
get
right,
more
that's
to
right.
use it.
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah, that
How
makes
much
sense.
does Rev have?
Oh, well, Rev took hardly any until the very end. He took 14, so he's at 36.
Well, he has emotional damage from all the.
He has
all
emotion.
the stuff.
Marvin was down to 15 before I healed him
Yeah, Marvin's in pain.
because of only one attack.
That was
By
a
Voldo.
huge attack though.
It did 23 damage.
That was a huge attack. Not
Oh my God.
that. Well, if anything that we've seen tonight, and for everybody who kind of hung out with us tonight, thank you so much. What we did see is some big numbers. I do believe Rev hit 60.
Yeah, twice. That was.
He did hit 60 twice. My guys were
You're
like,
the one who upgraded the damage,
I
by
know.
the way.
No,
It didn't used to
that's
do
the
that
reason
much.
why I wanted to, because I was making guys who had higher
Okay.
outputs. But you do damage like 25, and then it'd be like another 15 somewhere, and then you do 60. I'm just like, that's what's all I have left. Like, we're getting 61 shots. That's great.
Yeah, those are some. That's Fear of the Jackal, man. That is one badass attack.
Yeah,
right there.
absolutely. That was amazing. That's what happens in this system. If you level up and you put those upgrade points in, Rev
You
has
upgrade
been
that skill,
upgrading
yeah.
that to obviously to stage
And that's not even
2,
max level. He has
stage
one
3.
more level.
Yeah, you got that
that's
to
stage 3 on that attack.
and I think that's just awesome. It just shows what you can do with that ability, and I think Mike, your character is more diverse now that you can do actually those blood arrow rain, those red
Yeah.
rain. That was huge.
Yeah, now that I know you can do AOE, I'm staying the hell away from.
Right?
It worked to
Yeah, I gotta pay attention to that.
To Ryan's benefit that he had that thing on top of him.
I need to be always
yeah.
underneath enemies. If I'm going to be near them.
But I want to thank everybody who hung out with us this evening. Again, this game is called Horizons Unknown After Earth RPG. This is a game that was written and created by myself. My name is Scott Shogi Moses. Also, you can call me Shogi 9mm Marita. Either one of those is
Nice.
completely, absolutely valid. I like them both. This is a game that we play every Friday night here at 7 p.m. Usually we do have another gentleman, Shane, who is not able to, unfortunately, be here tonight. I know he was pretty bummed. He's been sending me some texts that he was not happy about his internet. But we will be trying to pick up Dr. Ace Mars from Los Rivos next week with these gentlemen and see
That's
what
right.
exactly happens.
Maybe he can fix us up from that. attack
Absolutely.
That we,
I mean, he
you know.
should at least. He didn't show up for the meeting.
I'm good.
The first thing, the first thing the
Yeah.
doc's gonna say is beatings. Who does beatings? Meetings are like they waste time. You guys handle meetings. I do the other stuff. But again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Ryan, tell everybody where they can find you at. One of the best streamers in the world, right here.
Rand118 on Twitch. You can check out my YouTube. Thank you, Scott, for doing this. I know you do a ton of
Yeah,
work, so
thank
it's always a blast to be a part of
Thank you
this.
so much. Mike, thank you so much for being here tonight. Voldo is
Thank you,
ever
sir.
evolving here.
Killing more and more of my
Keep more,
friends.
but there's a part that
And his-
Voldo
and his
has to get
allies.
it out because he almost died like so many times, dude.
he's just getting his revenge on the.
Yeah, and I was doing some shady stuff.
Every time,
Yeah.
every time that he actually does damage to somebody, he just has flashbacks of the woman in white. Just like everybody's the woman in white to this guy.
PTSD right there.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Like, we will see you next Friday here at 7 p.m. on this channel. Again, everybody, if you do miss the sessions and you want to check it out, you can always check out the VOD, or you can always go to my YouTube channel at Scott Moses. Link is down in the panels below. You can always see these. I upload them every time that we do one. Other than that, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, this wonderful group of cast. To Burgher, wherever you are, brother. We miss you.
I'm trying to save you, bro.
We have
I'm
guys
trying
who are
to save you.
who are trying to do necromancy over here and try to bring your dead bones back.
We're channeling a spirit by killing each other with grenades and
There
arrows.
you
so.
go. Absolutely. But we will again see you guys next week, and until next time, keep it safe on the waste, everybody. Good night.